Aloha and good evening, everyone, and on this pleasant Friday night from Eagle Mountain, Utah, we welcome you to KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school football. And our presentation of Timpanogos football, KSL Sports Rewind, is presented by Brent Brown Toyota Scion. Welcome to the home of the Aviators as Cedar Valley welcomes in Timpanogos in what could be classified as one of the biggest region matchups of the season. And alongside my broadcast partner, Alex Amrine, making his return after battling an illness last week. I'm Alexander Timberwolves. Good to be with you guys again. Okay, Amrine, I turn to you. First thing I say is, welcome back. Glad you're 100% again. But more importantly, this is a huge Region 7 showdown.
Yeah, no, this is a big game, and I think it's an even bigger storyline because of the outcomes of these two teams last week. Especially for Timpanogos. We saw Timpanogos absolutely get manhandled last week, and that came as a complete surprise to both of us. So we really want to see how this team's going to rebound, because I think that this game tonight can very well define how they deal with adversity, how they respond to that adversity. So I'm really excited to see how their offense especially comes out here and plays.
And Amrine just hit it on the head. Timpanogos took it on the chin last week. 35 points in the first quarter. They lost to Payson 49-6. And once again, we're looking over that sideline, Amrine. Tino Psyche, our cameraman, zooming in on it. Chase Riggs was back last week. We expected him to play tonight, but once again, he is not dressed tonight for Timpanogos.
Yeah, no, and watching it, we noticed that he didn't have his pads on. We saw him even just warming up, and I could even tell it just looked like he had a little bit of wince of pain still. So whether it's just pain management or whether he's just, maybe that's what it's got to be, right? Because this guy's hungry to get back out on the field. Unfortunate that last week didn't go as well as we were hoping that he would play. We knew this offensive talent, even without him, we were thinking that they were going to go bounds ahead. They took several steps backwards, so maybe they can get back to that offensive success tonight and let Chase Riggs get the rest he needs.
Now, on the other side for the Cedar Valley Aviators, they're coming off a very dominant, very thorough beating of Tula last week, 49-13. Passed for 200 yards, ran for 200 yards as a team. This looks like a team that is, at least for now, Amrine, is ready to challenge Stansbury for that top spot in Region 7.
Yeah, I know, and some of my favorite teams aren't teams necessarily that have just one player that's, doing it all. Occasionally we see teams where it'll be like one superstar player on either the offense or defense who's doing each and everything. But this is a really well-rounded team, like you said. Both through the air and on the ground, they had a lot of success. I really like quarterback Connor Thompson. I'm going to talk about him a bit later in the game once he actually gets playing, but I really like his physique. He's really tall. You can see over the offensive line, and he's got a good arm to him as well. I'm hoping to see some good darts across the field and also some good balls, some good lob passes.
Todd Tharp, our referee, is conducting the coin toss right now at midfield. Timpanogos won the toss. They will take the football, and they will defend the south goal, will the Aviators here at this stadium. Okay, before we get too far, let's get to our Heidemann & Associates Keys to the Game, presented by Heidemann & Associates, a full-service law firm committed to winning for their clients. This place is already rocking and rolling, Amrine, so give the viewers at home what they need to know for tonight's big game.
Yeah, well, first, let's go to Cedar Valley, the home team here. Well, first off, my notes for them were based off if Chase Riggs was going to be playing this game. I was going to say keep him on his toes. Last week he was a little rocky through 2 picks, both that were returned for touchdowns, but they have to be changed just a little bit since he's not going to be in the game. I say what they have to do is keep the Timpanogos offense one-dimensional. Don't let them have success through the air. Luke Livingston has done a good job filling in for Chase Riggs at quarterback. You can't let him feel comfortable in the pocket tonight. Either do that or shut down the run game, either with Luke Livingston once again or MJ Iosefo, who's done a phenomenal job this whole season. And switching over to the Timpanogos side, I think one thing they got to do is not let the game get away with them. Last week, as we noted, they had 35 points scored on them in the first quarter. It was just an absolute beating. And the Aviators have a very consistent running game. So if they're able to keep that running game steady, not let any explosive runs, and if Cedar Valley ends up scoring first, don't let that get in your head. Okay, there's 4 quarters of football.
Aviator fans, are you ready for some football?
Yes, they are ready. Elijah Holman will kick us off. Tyler Hunter set to receive. Settle back in and watch, folks. Elijah Holman sends us away. And the kickoff will be taken at the 5-yard line. Out to the 10, the 15, and getting manhandled right at the 20-yard line is Trent Willis. And Lewis gets back to the 16-yard line. That is where the Timberwolves will take over on 1st down and 10, Amrine.
Yeah, and so I don't know exactly who won or who lost the coin toss out there. You might have seen it. But I think if you're Timpanogos, you want to have the ball first. I mean, if you're confident in yourself and you think that you can score, you want to be able to go out there and put a statement out there. So I'm happy to see that they have the ball a little bit back in their own territory, starting at their own 16. Let's see what they have to show us right now.
It'll be Luke Livingston on 1st and 10. He gets or takes it on the right side. He's at the 20. He's at the 25. Needs a block down the sideline. 40. And out of bounds he goes close to midfield. Well, that's how you start the game.
I was just about to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. Luke Livingston doing a good job following his lead blockers and then cutting it to the outside. He had a good job on the outside of a block from one of his wide receivers, able to run down the sideline and set them up high in their own territory.
Clock will get fixed here in just a second. Pass is caught on the first pass of the game. That's complete to Josh Graff on the stick play. Pickup, call it of about 4.
Yeah, and Josh Graff is one of those guys to look out for. I mean, this team's got a lot of good offensive pieces. He's been one of those guys who have, not super explosive, but he's a steady, reliable.
Now it's Gabe Graff out on the other side, and he gets maybe a yard up to midfield. Clock reads 11:20 here in the stadium, Amrine, and I can barely hear you right now because this place is rolling.
I know, I'm plugging my right ear so my left ear can hear you more. And it's up here, it's literally rocking up here. We had the student section jumping up and down, press box is rocking.
That pass is caught near the marker. It looks like it's going to be at the marker, and I think they're going to give Josh Graff the spot. They say first down.
I thought it was a bit short of the marker, but hey, that's not my job. Give him the first down, keep this offense rolling.
Clock reads 11:03 and rolling. We're going to get the clock fixed here on our next timeout. Pass is caught off the RPO screen. That's Graff again. Ball comes out after he was down. But again, another good short pass there, Amrine, and we talked about how they needed to come out quick, the Timpanogos Timberwolves, and here we go.
Yeah, tempo right here, no huddle.
Again, no huddle, and this time we have a flag, and I think I know what this is. It is a very windy night here at Eagle Mountain, Utah. Todd Tharp, our referee, signals false start.
5 yards. Second down and 9 yards from the 44-yard line.
10:40 on our clock here in the first quarter. 2nd down and 9, and now they're going to give 5 yards right back. Well, that's a start.
Yeah, there you go right there. Well, in a game like this, there's just so much energy. Sometimes you just get those little twitches. You can get called off for false starts and offsides.
2nd down 4 now from the 39. Livingston throws the slant. That's incomplete. Intended for Josh Graff, and here's the first 3rd down. That's inside no man's land here for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and really quick before they set up this play, one thing that this Timberwolves defense, Timberwolves offense does so well, they put the field on the outside of these little screens, and that opened up those passes across the middle. Unfortunate right there, incomplete to Josh Graff.
Bretzing lines up in the backfield. Livingston rolls to his right, and it's Bretzing in the flat. He'll stumble forward, and he's got the first down of the 35.
And something that makes the play action pass, especially as of lately in football, across college, across the NFL, even here in high school, that makes the play action so deadly when you have a mobile quarterback like Luke Livingston back there. He has the option to either throw it off or run it himself and pick up about the same as he would.
Well, this time Bretzing gets the handoff, and he's gobbled up in the backfield. First contact made there by Cedar Valley's number 45. That's Brian Vogel in the middle.
Yeah, that play was over before it even started right there. Terrible job by the offensive line. Good job by the defense getting through.
Or 2nd and 14 now from the 35. They send an extra man off the edge, and the pass is tipped and incomplete. And there's Vogel again.
Yeah, I mean, Vogel setting the presence right here. That's what you want to do, especially on the first drive. And I talked about this the last time we called the game. It's just that getting passes batted down. It's great when you have protection, but nothing more frustrating than to pass batted down because you know your receiver's open, you targeted him, you have the time to throw it, but you can't even get the pass out because they got those big hands up there.
Boy, this press box is already shaking here on 3rd down and 14. 2 for 2 on 3rd downs are the Timberwolves on this drive. Livingston, he's got a man open in the seam if he can find Graff. It's incomplete, lot of contact, and there is the laundry. In coverage on him was Jaden Jordan, the defensive back.
Yeah,
but that ball was severely underthrown on that one.
Yeah, underthrown, and Jaden Jordan could have made a play on the ball, but the reason that flag came out, he wasn't looking at the ball. He was busy looking at the receiver who was open. Unfortunately for the Timberwolves, ball was underthrown. Looks like they are going to get that pass interference. It's going to set them up further into the Aviator territory.
And they're gonna wave it off.
On the Timberwolves.
Or they're going to replay the down because, and they're going to replay third down because of an offsetting penalty. So it was a pass interference, but there was also an eligible man down the field. One of the linemen went more than 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, and I was just talking about play action passes. That's also a risk that you run when you have all these little, one thing they're doing, they run these boots out to the left. They have one guy running a scat and another guy running a wheel underneath. Sometimes what happens when you have your offensive lineman trying to provide extra coverage, you get that called on you.
3rd down and 14. Livingston gonna throw, wide open man, and it's dropped. Dash McCann was so wide open up the seam, but he couldn't hold on, and it's 4th down.
And I think one thing that McCann was thinking right there, I call it reading the headlines. You're just watching the ball come to you, and you're thinking, oh man, I'm gonna make the school paper, I'm gonna get it, and then you drop it. You just get in your head. You're thinking about the run before you've even completed the catch. That's a break right there for the Aviators as well.
That certainly was, because there was nobody in the middle of the field on that cover 2 on 3rd down. Now it's 4th down and a mile here from the 39. And we're going to have yet another penalty against the Aviators. That's their 3rd one already in less than 2 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah, that's something that the defensive coordinator is going to want to get under control. Just, simple fundamentals. Just keep your eyes on the ball. Don't keep your eyes focus on the quarterback pre-snap.
Yeah, that's one thing that's going to drive 5th-year head coach Weston Zabriskie nuts, are those penalties. Now it's 4th down and a little bit more manageable, 4th and 9. Livingston, so much time he can read a calendar back there. Now he rolls to his right. It's going to take off. Is he going to get to the marker? Yes, he will, and then some! That's what Luke Livingston can do for you there on 4th down. My goodness.
And on that play, you didn't just see his athleticism. You saw his confidence in himself. He had a receiver open over the middle. There were some defenders around, so he probably went through his progressions, thought, okay, you might get tackled here. I know what I can do. I'm going to go for the sticks, and he got it.
Well, Easton Bretzing tried to go for the sticks, and he got thrown back away from the sticks. Tegan Hansen coming up on the linebacker blitz there drops him for a loss of about 3.
2nd down and 13.
It is rocking and rolling here at Eagle Mountain, Utah. Livingston looking, throws, that's complete, and what a hit off the edge. My goodness, Tegan Hansen again. I mean, that one shook me hard. I think that one shook harder than the student section did right there. My word.
I feel like I'm taking surfing lessons up here trying to keep my balance.
Livingston on 3rd and long to the end zone. Got McCann this time. Touchdown, Timpanogos.
There's some redemption right there. And that was a great little pump fake that Luke Livingston had, leaving him open on the wheel route. The secondary right there totally bit on it, leaving him wide open. Great job, great route, fantastic throw. Good drive.
And Alex Amrine, theme of the night we saw against Hurricane back on August 26th. Once again, conversions on 3rd and 4th down. Timpanogos converted 4 3rd downs and 1 4th down, and that was their 4th 3rd down conversion of the drive.
Yeah, that was Hurricane's bane of existence that night. Just right when you think you have them, they just gouge you right in the heart.
Harris Reed now for the extra point, and he punches it right through. We look at the scoreboard here at Cedar Valley High School. 7-0 Timpanogos, 8:54 left to go here in the first. Back here at Cedar Valley High School, Eagle Mountain, Utah. Alexander Chimilip, Alex Amrine. Timpanogos leads 7-0 on the strength of a touchdown pass from Luke Livingston to Dash McCann. That's Livingston's 19th total touchdown of the season. Reed's kickoff will be taken at the 5. And it's a fumble on the pitch. And it is recovered by Timpanogos. The Aviators trying to get tricky with it, and it cost them right off the kickoff. And the Timberwolves are right back in the red zone.
Well, there's many ways to lose yourself a game. And I mean, we're in the first quarter right here, but if you want to set a bad tone for yourself, go ahead and do it on special teams right there. I don't know what they were doing, if they were trying to do some reverse. By the time they got figured out who had the ball, there was a Timberwolves player right there to get it for themselves. Now they're set up right here, 1st and goal already. They are ready to make a statement here right now with this touchdown. We are worried about this offense. I don't think we need to worry about any aspect of this Timberwolves team.
Cody Hawks was the one that recovered the loose ball for Timpanogos. Bretzing fakes the handoff, and now Livingston takes it himself, and he goes nowhere. We're having some issues with our score bug here, folks. Just give us a moment. We're trying to figure it all out. 7-0 Timpanogos, if you just missed it. As this place is ready to explode right now. Livingston looking, throws into traffic. It's incomplete. It was intended for Caleb Hadley, and they'll bring up 3rd down again.
Brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, right there. The Aviators defense just kept 2 Mike linebackers over the middle right there. One thing this Timberwolves offense loves to do, they pull a running back out to the left for a possible option on a little dump off, but then they have a guy who's wide out right by himself. As you can see, they have the same lineup right here. They run a slant right there, but he was met with the 2 Mike linebackers over the top.
Livingston looking on 3rd down and goal. Gets away from the pressure. Now he's going to roll to his right. Now throws wide open, but overthrowing Josh Graff in the end zone. And it'll bring up 4th down, and it's decision time here, and Austin Heaps is going to bring on Harris Reed, the kicking team here.
Yeah, I think right here when you're given a choice like this, you know, you're not down, you're already up by 7. You scored on the first drive right here. Just get the points while you have them. It's free points. Unfortunate right there. Blown opportunity to get us another 7 on the board.
For Timpanogos, a 25-yard attempt.
25-yarder here for Harris Reed.
Is number 18, Reed Harris.
Blake locked down to 9. Kicking into the wind. Whatever wind there is coming out of the north tonight on a very windy, cool night here in Eagle Mountain. It is placed, it is kicked, and it is perfect. So 10-0, our score, as Timpanogos takes advantage of the turnover and turns it into points. And Alex Amrine, I turn to you now, and you have to be feeling fortunate if you're Cedar Valley to not be behind 14-0 after something like that on the kickoff.
Yeah, I know that's a breath of fresh air for you guys at least. That your defense is able to make a stand. I mean, that really was just a missed opportunity on the side of the Timpanogos Timberwolves right there. They're going to get a ball back right here. Now, on this drive, I think it's crucial that you at least put points on the board, whether it's a field goal, make this a 1-score game. Show that you're, competitive. It was a game note for Timpanogos to not lose track of this game. The thing can be said already for the Cedar Valley Aviators.
Harris Reed set to kick off. Once again, Cedar Valley has Clayson Jenkins back to receive the kickoff. And Reed boots this one into the checkerboard end zone. It'll be a touchback.
Into the end zone.
So finally now, Amrine, we get to see the Cedar Valley offense for the first time, and Cooper Thompson and Clayson Jenkins were carrying most of the load last week for the Aviators.
Yeah, and like we said, it's a very well-rounded offense. I'm curious to see which one they're going to rely upon more here, if they're going to go split down the middle. But I think that they have a heavy task on their shoulders. I mean, look at this environment right here. We got a packed student section. We got the full orchestra going. This press box is literally rocking because of the student section. So they have that hype behind their shoulders. Hopefully they can go out there and score some points.
From the 20 now, 1st and 10. Jenkins will get the handoff up the middle, and he gets maybe a couple on the play.
Yeah, Jenkins right there, right as soon as he saw his whole collapse, you saw him dive for a few extra yards. I like that kind of running back who's willing to put his body on the line for the betterment of the team.
This is the first offensive possession of the night for Cedar Valley. And they're already behind 10-0 off the strength of a turnover and after the field goal, and then the touchdown on the opening drive by Timpanogos. We have a flag down on the far sideline.
Flag on the play.
And we'll see what this is. It came from the sideline.
The offense is already walking back. Makes you think it's on them.
More than likely. And it looks like we have an equipment violation again.
We've seen a few of those in the last few weeks.
We've seen quite a few of those, Alex Amrine. Again, for those wondering, the High School Football Referees Association is cracking down on uncovered knees this year on players. It does result in a penalty. in Utah high school football, so that's a big penalty there. That pushes it back to the 11-yard line.
Protect yourself or else.
Yeah, exactly. Thompson throws the screen. That's complete to KJ Fisher, and Fisher gets hogtied as he gets out of bounds over there at the 15-yard line. Now, let me tell you, Alex Amrine, Robbie Parsons came over and laid the lick on him right there.
Yeah, Robbie Parsons and the rest of this Timberwolves defense, excuse me, I've been watching some film. You saw this was a misdirection play. It was drawn up to look like a bootleg to the right, but then they had a screen on the back end right there, and Robbie just made a great tackle right there, making it 3rd and long.
Actually, check that. That was actually Jaden Robinson, not Robbie Parsons there.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah. I was about to say Parsons is on special teams. Robinson is normally playing there in the defense as Thompson throws on 3rd down, and a wide open man making the catch for the 1st down is Ethan Johnson. That's a big 3rd down conversion early in the game there for the Aviators.
Yeah, good throw right there by Thompson. And a great catch right on the sideline, just making sure that he's got his body behind it. On those low ones, you have the tendency maybe to put your hands low, but get your body behind it. Make sure you haul in that catch to secure a 1st down.
6:49 and rolling here in the 1st quarter. 10-0 is our score. Timpanogos leads. Alexander Timolip and Alex Amrine here for KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school football. Thompson looking. He's got a man wide open. It's Fisher! Brought down inside the 15. And this time it was Robbie Parsons that saved the touchdown there for the Timpanogos Timberwolves. 52 yards.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from that pass. If that pass was just a bit more of a line drive, that's a touchdown right there. Good job by the safety for the Timberwolves coming down, taking down Ethan Johnson from behind. But hey, that's 2 back-to-back Ethan Johnson catches. Let's see if he goes to him for a 3rd time to finish off this drive here in the red zone.
52 yards there from Thompson to Johnson. From the 15, 1st and 10 for the Aviators. Here's a handoff to Jenkins, right side, and he's going to get met at the line of scrimmage and driven back. Tage Lister, the first contact there for Timpanogos.
Yeah, right there, Tage Lister. He's just following it, and finally when Jenkins finally has to choose a hole to go on the outside, then he bites and makes the tackle.
5:56 rolling here in the 1st quarter. Again, our scoreboard is down. Vince Francis back in Salt Lake is remoting in to work on it. And again, we started the recording late for those watching on the live stream on YouTube or the recorded broadcast on YouTube. We apologize for all the difficulties we've been having. Now Thompson on 2nd down and 11. Looking to his left. Throws wide open in the flat. That's Johnson inside the 5. Got the 1st down. And it'll be 1st and goal there for the Aviators. On the tackle there for Timpanogos was number 12, Aiden Vonsawad.
Yeah, right there. They had a guy running out and a guy running a corner, and it looked like there was a miscommunication on the defensive side. All 3 of those guys went to the guy covering the corner. I don't know if it was them just not wanting to be the one that led up the touchdown, or just they didn't see the person running the out route right there. A good little pickup to set up 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, you're right, Amrine. I apologize. It's going to be 3rd down and a yard. Probably not even a yard, like a half a yard here almost. It's a short yard to go.
I'd be surprised they don't go to Jenkins right here.
Well, they have the power eye in here, and it's a fullback dive on 3rd down, and oh my, this is going to be close, Amrine. I think it's short.
I think it's short, but I think you go for it right here. You're this close. You're showing your tenacity right here. Finish off the drive. You don't want to settle for 3. You get all the way down here.
From the 5.5.
Joe Lomu, number 44, and Fisher 6 were in the power eye formation. We're in the straight eye formation, and now here's 4th down and less than a half yard, almost a spam musubi here on 4th and 1-ish.
Give me the fullback dive again.
It may be. Johnson comes in motion. It's Lomu. Touchdown.
Thompson hands off to number 44, Joe Lomu. Touchdown, Aviators.
End around fake right there. Didn't look like the Timberwolves bid on that necessarily, but a great job by the fullback opening up the hole for Lomu, who just walks into the end zone very gracefully, making this a 1-score game once more. 4th
down and touchdown. And wow, how about that, Amrine? What a response from the team, from the Cedar Valley Aviators. They give up the 3 points, but they get the 7 right back. And they're right back in it.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. I mean, of course, 3 points is better than none, but 7 points is what you want right there, especially after you had a bit of a slip-up on the special teams right there. You wanted to show that you're not going to... Oh, right there, and it's blocked.
Well, you caught it before I did. MJ Yosefo blocks the extra point.
Special team woes once more, right as I was saying it.
Right as you were saying it. Well, took the words right out of my mouth, but what a start we've had to this one here. We'll get the scoreboard back up and running for you folks when we come back. It's 10-6 Timpanogos on KSLSports.com. Elijah Holman set to kick off. 10-6 in favor of the Timpanogos Timberwolves. Holman's kickoff will go into the end zone, and Tyler Hunter will take the touchback. So bring it out to the 20.
Kick is into the end zone.
Yeah, he wanted to return that one right there. Probably better he didn't after he muffed it and rolled back into the end zone, because that Aviator special teams, they were going to be all over him, probably within his own 5-yard line.
Fans, please keep in mind to remain seated at the end of the game as your players are coming through the crowd to high-five them, and also get ready for
KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school football is presented by Western Governors University and also presented in part by Heidemann and Associates. 4:15 left to go, 10-6 in favor of Timpanogos. Livingston on first down, hands to Bretzing, big hole up the middle. And Bretzing gets out to close to the 30-yard line, and he'll pick up a first down there for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, how these outside screens they like to run so much, it opens up the middle pass game. It also opens up that middle run game they like to run so much with their running back or with Luke Livingston sometime with the quarterback draw.
4 minutes to go. Here's a handoff to Bretzing again, and this time he breaks one tackle and then gets swallowed up by the pursuit. Once again on the tackle, Tegan Hansen for the Cedar Valley Aviators. We called his name quite a bit here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I know. He's a guy that, I didn't have much of an opportunity to look at him too much, his tape, but, I mean, I think he's going to have plenty after this game so far, what we've seen in the first quarter.
High pass is incomplete. In and out of the hands there of Josh Graff. And that will bring up a big third down here. We've already seen third down be the story here in this first quarter, Amrine, for both teams.
Yeah, we'll see what happens right here. And go back to that last play really quick. What a great play by Jaden Jordan, He was the one who had the pass interference call that was eventually offset by the other penalty. But a great job right there. Kraft had that ball in his hands, but just the force of that whip around tackle made the ball slip out.
Livingston on third down, rolls to his right, got some room if he wants it, he'll take it. But he will be stopped short of the first down. He picked up about 4, and that's the first third down that we haven't seen converted. And oh, you got to be kidding! They're going to go for it here. Wow!
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with this one.
Austin Heaps is really rolling the dice here, Amrine.
He wants it.
4th down and 4, but this may be a situation, I think, Amrine, where you may want to draw them offside.
Yeah.
You're close enough, and now Austin Heaps is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, just trying to do the hard count right there, and I would be very curious to see if they were to go for a 4th down on their own side of the field, even not even at their own 40, what kind of play they would have drawn up. I was wondering if they were going to run something similar to the last play they did, where he ran on the outside, had a few options, maybe just ran it himself, and that's been such a lethal part of this Timberwolves offense throughout the season.
KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school football, especially Timpanogos High School football, is presented by Brent Brown Toyota Scion. It's also presented by Heidemann and Associates, a full-service law firm that is dedicated to winning for their clients. Whether you need patents for your business or you need to handle estate planning, Heidemann and Associates is there for you. Call 801-754-4240. That's 801-754-4240, or you can call them online, or follow them online, rather, at utah.law. Alexander Tummo alongside Alex Amrine here at Cedar Valley High School. 10-6 our score between Timpanogos and Cedar Valley with 3:01 to go here in the first quarter. And now Harris Reed is back to punt here for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I like the punt a lot more than going for it on 4th down after the Aviators showed that they can score.
Yeah, it's still relatively early in the game too, Amrine. Surprised that they actually tried to go for it and try to jump them offside. Tegan Hansen back to receive the punt. And it's a good one. High line drive into the wind. And Hansen, did that touch him? Did that touch Hansen? I thought it did. And they're going to say, no, it did not touch him.
Called the 17-yard line.
I thought for sure, Amrine, that touched Tegan Hansen, but the officials all said no.
I don't know. I wish we had an instant replay right here, but I could have sworn because that ball had a bounce. Unless that thing just hit something other than his hands or himself, I don't know what it could have been. Because that looked like that was going to be a perfect scoop and score. It'd be another just terrible slip up for this Aviators special teams. I mean, we've seen 3 really big mishaps on their own side.
On the Aviators.
Well, there was a personal foul for a blindside block anyway of the Aviators, and so I don't think it really would have mattered. But Austin Heaps, I would imagine Austin Heaps is probably still wondering himself how in the world his team doesn't have the football back, Amrine, because I swore that Tegan Hansen might have touched the ball. But again, we're standing up here in the press box, which is already rolling and shaking, as people can already tell from the camera angles up here at the press box. But I don't know. That was close.
Yeah, I don't know. Once more, the Aviators get away with one right there.
So back underway we go. 2:52 to go here in the first quarter. And the handoff goes to Jenkins, and he'll trudge his way into the stack for, call it, about maybe 5.
You know, and I think even though the Aviators ended up with the ball, I think there's got to be a serious discussion on the sideline of Cedar Valley right now, you know, talking about the special teams, talking about the execution, because I think just some bad decisions have been made. As both times on returns, when we had that kickoff return where they tried a little bit of trickery and it ended just in disaster, sending Timpanogos out to get a field goal. And the last one right there, you know, if you're going to fair catch it and you're unsure, just back away from the ball. Let it hit the ground, not yourself.
Yeah, that's the moment as a returner you just yell poison, get out of the way. Play clock was down to 5. Here's Jenkins with a hole. And Jenkins gets stood up at the line of scrimmage, nowhere to go. First contact for Timpanogos there by who else? MJ Yosefo along with Nash Bryce.
Yeah, MJ Yosefo, a guy who can really show that he's lethal on either side of the ball. You know, I like that gang tackle right there. Just everyone just gets in on there. You know, that just shows that you're just committed as a defense, that you can do everything together. You all go to the ball as soon as you see it fly out or you see it handed to the running back.
3rd down and 4 on the 14. Thompson with Fisher coming in motion to the right. Looks to his direction, now throws in the flat for him. That's complete, and a great open field tackle by Nash Bryce. And that is going to be short of the first down by about a half a yard.
Yeah, Nash.
And yeah, you punt it here if you're Cedar Valley.
Yeah, you got to. And the offense is coming out right there. Good job by Price, making sure. I think that he himself had a general idea of where the sticks were and made sure that the wide receiver met him right at those sticks so they wouldn't get that first down, just by a couple of inches.
4th and a yard now on the 17 now as we're under a minute here in the first quarter. Again, our scoreboard's not showing here. We're going to get it to show here in just a few seconds. Livingston back to receive the punt near midfield. And it's an end-over-end wobbler. And Livingston dropped the football, and Cedar Valley deserves to have that, and they do! But there is a flag down. And I have a feeling we may have kick-catch interference against Cedar Valley, and if that's kick-catch interference, I'm sorry, Amrine, that's a really, really ticky-tack call.
I know, that one's tough, and it looks like I did see one of the refs already point to the Cedar Valley side. Let's see what the call is on the field. I mean, if there isn't a flag in the play, they do reverse this. Luke Livingston has eyes focused on that ball the whole time, didn't realize he had 3 or 4 Aviators coming right towards him. And that one was almost blocked as well. That was something that I saw at the beginning of the play, so.
Boy, this would be a really tough break for Cedar Valley if it's a kick-catch interference. I have to say, I'm right. That looked like it was right as the ball was caught by Livingston that he got hit. So I don't know how you can call kick-catch interference on that play.
No, it looks clean to me right there. It didn't seem like there was any interference right there. It looked like Livingston got the ball. He didn't have a, didn't fair catch it at all. He was ready to, turn on the jets and go like he usually does.
Todd Tharp, our referee, is having a really long conversation here with his crew, and this is a big call, Amrine, because this puts either Cedar Valley across midfield or it gives the Timberwolves the ball back on a huge break on special teams that have already gone their way, and it looks like it's going to be kick-catch interference against the Aviators.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that call.
Kick-catch interference on the Aviators.
Student section and all the rest of Cedar Valley fans showing their opinion of the call, and I
have to agree with them on that one.
I'm agreeing with them as well. There've been a few calls. We had this one earlier, and also the punt that we could have sworn hit the punt returner. It was scooped up by the Timberwolves side, but here we go. Let's see if they can make this a two-score game once more.
Livingston gets out of there. Now a flag goes down as he throws it high. It is caught, but not for very much. And there is going to be a flag down, and I think this is going to be holding against the Timberwolves. So justice in the end.
Yeah, that'll reverse that circus catch by Graff right there, but a good job by him, despite the flag on that play, getting that ball. Yeah, and there's the holding call as you predicted. And like I talked about, with these bootleg plays, you run the risk of having a lineman go down the field and you get an ineligible receiver flag. But with this case as well, you also get the holding possibility. And it's hard right here. Luke Livingston, he has a tendency, and it's a good thing because sometimes it'll open up an even bigger play, but he always looks past his first option and then tries to go for the big play rather than the short play as it was drawn up.
Right there, he goes to Bretsing, and he picks up about a good chunk of the penalty yards back, plus a couple more. 23-3 left on the clock here in the first quarter. 10-6 in favor of the Timberwolves. On a very cool night here in Eagle Mountain. Livingston throws, that's complete. Another flag goes down. And we have yet another ineligible man down the field penalty coming up against Timpanogos. I've lost count of how many penalties we've had in this first quarter. I think we had close to 7.
I know, kind of a bit of a sloppy play right here. And sometimes you get that when you just have, bodies getting thrown all around. Sometimes you lose track of, what you're doing yourself as a player. It was kind of funny. I saw that middle referee. He just kind of turned around and looked at the rest and so casually just pulled out his flag. He just looked downfield and he's like, yeah, you're way past the line of scrimmage, buddy.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah. So back it up again. Second down and a mile here. Second down and 24 officially. Ball at the 48. Clock rolling with 16 left here in the first quarter. Livingston rolls to his left. Now throws. Underthrown again. But once again coming back and making the catch is Graff. And he's got it for a first down inside the 30.
There we go right there. And, that's a bit of a risky throw when you run it right there and then you throw across your body, but he had confidence in himself, and it was almost a bit better, I think, that ball was underthrown and gave the wide receiver an opportunity to come back and get the ball as we have a stoppage right here at the end of the quarter.
And that will do it for the first quarter. A sloppy first quarter, an entertaining first quarter, Alex Amrine. That was fun.
Yeah, we knew this game was going to be close, but I think this game far exceeded my expectations of what we were going to see. So many different things going on. Team that's go back and forth, and special teams. Special teams always can make games interesting, and it sure has here tonight.
So now it's time for us to take a break. We'll be back after this word from KSL Sports Rewind sponsor Brent Brown Toyota Scion, and of course from Western Governors University. Back here on KSLSports.com in 30 seconds.
When Brent Brown Toyota in Orem became the #1 Toyota dealer in the nation in customer loyalty, our sales surged. That continued explosive growth leaves us without the amount of used cars to meet demand, paying unheard of prices for trade-ins, or we'll just buy your car outright at Brent Brown Toyota in Orem.
College wasn't built for me.
It didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Test day's test day. Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
Tests on your time. Courses on your time. Graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of VU.
Well, while Vince Francis gets our scoreboard up and running, welcome back to everyone to Cedar Valley High School. Alexander Timlip alongside my broadcast partner Alex Amrine. 10-6 our score with the Timberwolves marching. Another high snap. And another flag goes down, theme of the night, as Livingston throws and open is Graff, and he gets nailed inside the 10.
Yeah, that was some hard helmet-to-helmet contact that Graff picked up right there on that play. Good job by Luke Livingston looking across the field. It's hard when you still have defensive linemen down over there because you gotta just have to see this, that, you know, your guy's own helmet right there. It's a bit of his jersey and trust that you can fit him right there. Another holding call as suspected as that flag got thrown into the backfield as Luke Livingston was rolling out of the pocket.
Nate Banry was the one that delivered the hammer there on Gabe Graff. Apologies, folks. We're having a lot of issues with our scoreboard here, but just be patient with us. We'll keep you updated on what it looks like here in the stadium. 11:51 and rolling. 10-6 Timpanogos on 2nd and a mile. Here's Livingston up the middle, and he gets thrown back after a pickup of maybe a couple. And there's that man again in the middle, Brian Vogel, on the stop there for Cedar Valley, and it's 3rd down again.
And right there on that play, you know what this quarterback draws, and the fact that they run them so often, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't, because the defense knows it's coming at certain situations.
Livingston on 2nd down throws. That is incomplete. Intended for Graff on the far sideline. 11:20 to go here in the quarter. It'll bring up 3rd down again.
Yeah, high throw right there, and I think Luke Livingston had a bit more time than he anticipated. Could have gotten his feet more set right there and delivered that ball in stride. That ball high right there, intended for Graff.
3rd down and 23. They need to get to the 15 or the 14-yard line for a 1st down. Livingston throws, man open, down the middle, and it's caught! Easton Brensing into the end zone for the touchdown! 37-yard touchdown strike! And again, Amrine up the seam on 3rd down. Theme of the night on both sides of the football.
Yeah, right there. It looked like they were running a little cover 2, leaves that space right there in the open. It's dangerous when you have a running back who runs a little cut out right there, right in the middle. That'll leave him open a lot of times when they're going up against those linebackers. A lot of times, these running backs are a lot faster than those guys in the middle. Left him right there, and I like that little leap at the end just to ensure that he would get the 6 and that they wouldn't be stopped for 1st and goal right there. 6 on the board.
Harris Reed now for the extra point. Low snap, but he's able to put it right through.
Harris's kick is up and good.
And so with 11:13 left to go here in the 1st half, it is 17-6 in favor of Timpanogos. We'll be back after this word from UCCU on KSLSports.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
When Brent Brown Toyota in Orem became the #1 Toyota dealer in the nation in customer loyalty, our sales surged. That continued explosive growth leaves us without the amount of used cars to meet demand, paying unheard of prices for trade-ins, or we'll just buy your car outright at Brent Brown Toyota in Orem.
Partnership with Intermountain Healthcare.
Alexander Timlip, Alex Amrine for KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Timpanogos football presented by Brent Brown Toyota Scion. 17-6 is our score. 11:13 left to go here in the 1st half. What has been a sloppy, flag-filled, but entertaining 1st half between these two squads. Harris's kick will go through the end zone once again. Out the back of the end zone, in fact, out of the track. And that's a touchback out to the 20-yard line. Game time temperature, Amrine, was about 69 degrees at kickoff, and the wind up here, it was blowing at about 7 to 10 miles an hour. I mean, it feels a lot colder than 69 up here. It feels like it's about in the 50s.
Yeah, I know. When we got out of the car and pulled up here, I realized, I was like, oh no, the sun's going to be down well into this game. I'm going to be cold by the 4th quarter. I'm starting to already feel it now.
Well, look on the bright side, though. At least it wasn't raining, because that was originally in the forecast for today was rain.
It was, and you brought your umbrella. You're prepared for anything right here. But yeah, not very many clouds. Sun's settled right now. We've got the wind going. It's a beautiful night for some Friday night lights.
It is. It's a gorgeous night here in Eagle Mountain, Utah. As Thompson on 1st and 10 drops the pass. That pass is caught over the middle, and breaking a tackle is Fisher. And Fisher is close to midfield. Boy, Thompson threw that into a whole bunch of traffic. And instead, it's KJ Fisher who picks up another 1st down close to midfield.
Yeah, and that was Tyson Miller right there who almost jumped and picked the route. That would have been a pick 6 all day right there. Unless Thompson was somehow able to go back and tackle him right there. But a great job by the wide receiver right there, by Johnson, getting the ball, going up, and getting it to their own 47, excuse me.
And now, here's a hole. That's Jenkins. Clayson Jenkins all the way down inside the 15-yard line. 2:33 and rolling on the clock. And 2 big plays later, and now the red zone for the Aviators.
Yeah, and Clayton Jenkins, this is a guy who has several gears of speed right there. Right there, he started off slow, just followed his blockers, found the lane, boom, he punched it right there. Great gain for the Aviators.
10:30 and rolling. We just barely begun the second quarter. What a start to this game we've had. And now Cedar Valley will go into the offset I formation here. Man in motion to the left. Play action. Thompson, wide open, touchdown!
Thompson's pass complete. Delivered by Brian Weber. Touchdown, Aviators.
Brian Vogel on that one right there. He plays both sides, the defensive end, line up at the tight end right there. Just a little slip route right there. It was designed to look like a little pitch to Jenkins. Easy throw, no one near him. Gets this game closer. We might have a shootout on our hands right now, Alex, and I am all here for it.
What a start to this game. And now, looky here, Amrine. Speaking of rolling the dice, the Aviators are going to go for 2.
Well, they want to get back that missed point they had earlier. That could play big. They could also play even bigger if they miss it now.
It'd still be a 1-score game even if they miss it. Hagan goes in motion. Thompson rolls to his left. Gonna have to get a block, and he's gonna get taken down. The ball comes out, but it won't matter. And so the Aviators roll the dice, but they don't get the 2, but they will get the 6. And Amrine, I tell you what, we have seen pretty much, I think, what we thought we were going to see coming into this game is a high-octane, high-tempo, high-scoring shootout. We've got that, 29 points, and we've just barely begun the second quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I talked about this Cedar Valley team being a well-rounded team. I think the Timpanogos team has made me eat my own words a little bit. You know, they're saying to me, hey, put some respect on us, okay? We can do it all. And hey, I know they can do it all. They got plenty of weapons right here, but they're showing that they're a well-rounded team, even without their starting quarterback, Chase Riggs, who's out tonight resting up his shoulder. Hope he gets better soon and can be back in action. But what a game we have right now. 5-point game, Aviators behind it.
And what a game it is indeed. Elijah Holman is set to kick off. Special teams has been the story of the night so far for the game. Cedar Valley and Timpanogos, of course. We got our scoreboard up and running here. Going to thank Vince Francis for his tireless work in doing that. And the scoreboard clock, as you see now on your score line, is unofficial. Tyler Hunter and Trenton Lewis back to receive the kickoff.
Looks like some discussion amongst the refs.
And it looks like they're going to ask everybody to clear the end zones because there's people camping out behind the goal lines. Is the signal I believe we're getting. And now here come the coaches. Weston Zabriskie in the gray and Austin Heaps in the blue. And
ladies and gentlemen, both schools are members of the Utah High School Activities Association and support the statewide sportsmanship program Raise the Bar. Sportsmanship does matter. We ask for your support in demonstrating respect for the game and all the participants by refraining from cheers, chants, or behavior. It's our responsibility to do rowdy right.
So the officials led by Todd Tharp and Weston Zabriskie and Austin Heaps here in midfield are having a discussion because apparently there's a complaint about people camping out in the end zones behind the goals. And there are also, and we've also seen some kids playing on the equipment down on the field. And so they're going to sort everything out and get everybody cleared out of the way before we can continue the game.
So right now, sometimes a little break like this might be just the right thing for the team, especially in a shootout like this. Sometimes it's good to step back, kind of take a breath. Sometimes when it's just a shootout, you know, you have so many thoughts going through your head. Maybe that's just me as a commentator. I'm just like, oh my gosh, just got to slow down. But I think even as a player on there right there, it gives you a chance, give yourself a chance as a team to kind of just regroup, figure out your assignments, and go forward and do your job once you get back out on the field.
So Elijah Holman is ready to kick off. Both teams are now back out on the field. Well, at least the Aviators are. Now the Timpanogos return squad's back out on the field. I will say, they are very strict about the fan rules here in high school football.
Yeah.
Cannot have people camping in the end zones. Cannot have people yelling negative cheers, obviously. Now here we go. It's a short kickoff, and Miller will come up and make the catch. He drops the football, and it's a scramble. And I believe this is going to be Timpanogos football, unless somebody else came up with it, and it is. Jeez. Theme of the night so far, Amrine. I'm sure the special teams coaches are not going to be happy with the way their teams are playing.
Yeah, right there. I didn't quite see who the returner was on that one. You might have seen it right there. I was so focused on the loose ball. But, I mean, right there, I think that it was such a high ball. He didn't expect it to come as short as he did. Just underestimated a little bit. But, wow, how quickly these special teams plays could turn the script of this game.
So out comes the Timpanogos offense again. And again, no Chase Riggs tonight for the Timberwolves. Out again trying to heal up that shoulder that he injured in the opener against Jordan. Livingston hands off to Bretsing. Big hole! And Bretsing up the middle. Out to the 30-yard line. That's enough for a first down. And boy, both defenses have done very little to stop any of the offenses here early on.
14 yards on the play. First and 10.
Quickly they come back to the line. Doesn't even allow my partner to get any color analyzing in. High snap. And on a busted play, here's Livingston. Flag goes down. He makes something out of nothing, and he gets hogtied. Close to the first down marker, but there is a flag.
Out to the 40-yard line.
And where there's a yellow hanky, I suspect we have a holding against the Timberwolves.
That's been the theme of the night whenever Luke Livingston's been trying to run the ball. And right here, going back to the fact that his defenses haven't been able to exactly stop. I mean, you're going to have these surprise plays here in games like this where it just gets crazy. But sometimes I like to think of the defenses almost as just kind of a walkthrough defense. You know, they're kind of just standing there, you know, someone for the offensive players to hit against. But for the most part, it just seems like these offenses, on both sides, are just, you know, having their way.
That, I believe, is the 6th penalty against Timpanogos already. In fact, it's a chop block against the Timberwolves, so back them up 15 yards. Well, I don't know what's worse, the chop block or the holding.
Well, it's interesting. I saw a chop block on the last scoring drive for the Timberwolves, and I was curious that you're nodding your head. You might have seen it as well. Maybe the ref didn't call it. Maybe just want to keep an eye out for it and decided not to be merciful on that last one.
And now we're having a discussion here of where the ball's supposed to be spotted. Todd Tharp, our official in the white hat, is running the show here tonight. He's had a lot of work here in the early going, Alex Hamrine, Todd Tharp.
Yeah, keeping him busy.
Just trying to discuss where the ball's supposed to be spotted. And Todd Tharp looks at his linesman, looks at the umpire, and says, let's move it up a yard or a couple. There, now they'll spot it.
Every little bit counts.
So 1st and 26 now from the 15. Livingston, pump fakes, looking, tries to throw a screen up the sideline into coverage, and it's incomplete. Is intended for Dash McCann. Hansen there on the coverage.
Yeah, and I think that one was ahead of his receiver by about 10 yards, but I don't think I've seen a better ball from Livingston, actually. That one showed me that he has a much better arm than I originally thought.
Do you get the feeling like sometimes when these teams are going to be playing with the wind coming from the north at about 10 miles an hour, that the wind might have an impact on the throws?
I guess I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's very true right here. I mean, I'm feeling the wind right here. I got myself huddled up right now, wearing a short sleeve polo.
Livingston rolling to his right on 2nd and long, now throws on the run, pass is caught by Graff. He picks up a good chunk of the penalty yards back, and that'll bring up another 3rd down and long here for Timpanogos.
And the trend of the night has been conversion, so that's what I expect right here. Just want to see what they're going to draw up.
3rd down and 15 now from the 26. And now it's going to be 3rd down and 20.
Flag on the play.
Gabe Graff going to be called for the false start.
On the offense.
We've seen quite a bit from the Graff brothers. A lot better from number 9 than 89, at least on the basis of that last one.
Easy,
But
Ryan.
he did have the last catch, so it evens out. They cancel out, right?
Yes, it does. 3rd down and 20 now from the 21. Again, another high snap. Livingston throws. It's incomplete. Intended for Bretzing on the angle pattern. And it's 4th down, and just like that, Timpanogos will have to punt it away.
Yeah, right there. And I think that there were 3 players around Brenson right there. If anything, that would have just been a bit more cushion for the punter. Going to be Aviators' ball right here. Now the Aviators have a chance to not only just get closer in this game, but they have a chance to finally take their first lead of the game. So this could make this very interesting if they are able to punch the ball into the end zone.
Johnson and Hansen back to receive the Reed punt. It has been an adventure, to say the least, in the kicking game for both teams here tonight. And again, we have problems on special teams. Bretzing is out there, high snap. Reed gets it away, and it's a good one. A line drive that takes Hansen back to the 30. At the 40, and he gets to about the 41-yard line. And that's where the Timpanogos defense and the Cedar Valley offense will be spotted next. 9:22 to go here in the first half. It is 17-12, Timpanogos. Back after this. Back we come out of our quick timeout. 9:22 to go here in the quarter. Here's a handoff to Thompson to Jenkins. And Jenkins gets taken down at the line of scrimmage after a pickup of about 3.
He's met by number 4.
You know, and I've talked about, and I've praised Cooper Thompson a little bit. One thing that we noticed as we were coming in, we saw pictures of all the players, and one thing that you noticed about was the awesome mullet. I mean, he's rocking that thing.
Yes.
Did you know that ESPN has a mullet competition?
Oh my goodness!
On their channel?
I would probably do that, and I would probably win half the time, not to pump my old chest. But Thompson here winning the battle in the air so far as he finds Johnson for another first down, taken down by Litzter, but not before he picked up another close to 20 yards.
And right there, that play looked like they took it out of the Timberwolves playbook right there. Very similar, just a little slant route right there while they had a running back going into the flats in case it wasn't open. And how about this Johnson guy? I mean, he's been a very effective receiver. Thompson's looked to him time and time again. Once more on that last play.
1st and 10 now from the 42. Handoff goes to Lomu up the middle. And Lomu will pick up about maybe 5 off left guard. Taken down there by Yosefo along with Joe Vance.
You know, I'm curious to see at the end of this half what the time of possession stats are for this game. I think sometimes in a shootout when you have both offenses that are so capable, it comes down to not necessarily who has the ball last, although sometimes that very well is it, but who has had the ball more. I mean, because that means a more tired defense on the other side.
Stacking the line here are the Timberwolves on 2nd down and 5 now from the 37. Here's a pitch to Lomo on the right side, gets a block. And he'll be close to the first down. He'll get about maybe 4. So it'll be 3rd down and a yard here.
Close right there. I like the tackling by the Timberwolves side, just getting low. Low move definitely looks like more of a power back than they have in Jenkins. That's a good job going low, making sure he gets down. We've seen a lot of bad tackling tonight. I think that was one of the better tackles we've seen.
This place is shaking like crazy right now. They love it here on homecoming night. Draped in black, all the students on 3rd down and 1. Here's a handoff. No, it's a play action, and the pass is broken up. And what a play by Litzter.
Litzter right there, making your uncle proud. Great play right there. I mean, that was just some solid man coverage, sticking right there, playing hip to hip once that ball comes across, making sure that you're not tugging on the back of the jersey. You got the left hand behind, the right hand goes in front, gets in the way of the hands right there. Good play.
Johnson, the intended target there on the RPO play, and now 4th down and 3, and obviously Cedar Valley will go for it. They split 5 in the pattern, triple wide receiver to the left. Thompson, blitz coming, has time, steps up, gets away from the pressure, now he's going to run, he's got it! And The T-Wolves were all celebrating like they stopped him, but I think we saw it from up here. He clearly got it.
No, that looks like, yeah, he had a good reach right there. He definitely was out of bounds. Yeah, and what an athletic play right there, just going up and over, up and over. That looked like a little Forrest Gump run right there. He was just going away from everyone right there. Good job picking up the first.
And Austin Heaps is throwing his hands up in the air saying, what gives? I mean, he did not like that, and in fact, now they're going to say it's short.
Surprising call right there. Of course, the refs have much better eyes than we do. Chase, Coach Chief right there as well. He's got better eyes than we do. Of course, he's got a bit of bias, but sometimes that comes down to persuading the refs. Looks like it played out in his favor right there.
So now Weston Zabriski's out on the field asking what gives. Down on our sideline. I mean, you're right, Amrine. I guess the officials, Todd Tharp, screwed a better look at it than we did, because I thought for sure that Thompson had the first down.
Yeah, it looked like it. Maybe just stepped out, or maybe that ball was, out of bounds when he was reaching for it.
Anyway, back we go. Here's Bretzing off the left side. Tries to get around the corner, and he'll be taken down out of bounds after a pickup of about 5.
Not a super explosive run right there, but I love those kind of runs where they just go through one block at a time. Okay, they know which way, they read this block, because they can either go inside or outside. They read them right, all the way to the boundary and out of bounds. Good pickup. Second and then about 7.
Livingston throws. That's complete for a short gain, complete to Graff. Banry there in the tackle, and it'll be 3rd down and about 2 again. And quickly, here comes Timpanogos right back to the line.
5 yards, just short.
Bretzing lines up in the backfield on 3rd down and 2, and now they'll audible eyes. Triple wide receiver lines up to the right. Livingston throws in the flat. That's complete. Bretzing, a lot of room. He's got the first down and more. And he gets taken down close to midfield. But that's enough to move the sticks there for the Timberwolves.
One thing I had noticed earlier in the first quarter, but, we haven't talked about yet, is the absence of MJ Iosefo on this offensive side of the ball. We saw that he was such a productive running back right here. Looks like the Timberwolves are doing pretty good without him, though.
Bretzing this time gets the handoff. He gets maybe a yard. Brought down there by Fisher. And Brian Vogel there on the stop as well.
Yeah, Brian Vogel right there. I mean, when you got so many guys in the middle right there, but we hear his name over and over again, it just shows the tenacity he has at getting it to the ball carrier.
Quarterback draw here for Livingston, looking for a gap. Shifts through a crease, and he'll get swarmed right at the 45-yard line. First contact made there by Cedar Valley's number 33, Divo Tuatunga. It'll be 3rd down. Our game clock is about 3 seconds behind the stadium clock right now.
I'd watch the receiver at the top of the screen, see if they go for a slant.
And Livingston was looking that way. Now throws, and it's incomplete. It was behind the intended receiver, Graff, and we have another flag for a hold down. And I suspect this will probably be declined. Unless Weston Zabriskie wants to take it and make Timpanogos do it again, and that's what he's signaling.
Flag on the play.
If I got my count right now, Ryan, I think that's close to 10 penalties against the Timberwolves alone in this first half.
I was just about to say that. And there's holding once more. I'm not sure what the breakup is right now, but I'm sure a good majority of them have been holdings right here. And, I think that, accepting that penalty is the call that you want right here. We know how explosive this offense is and how, vicious they are on 4th downs. We talked about the first game that we called how many times they scored against Hurricane on 3rd and 4th downs. They've already scored a touchdown off of 4th down here tonight. And so I think that's a good call. Push them back. I think it's better to make them have 2 longer plays than just 4th and short and try to convert on that.
Livingston in the gun. Looks to pass, throws short. That's complete, but not for a whole lot to Caleb Hadley. And that was good for about a yard. And if anything, I think that's Austin Heaps just saying, well, just don't turn it over and just give our guys a chance to pin the Aviators back, and that's what they're going to get right here.
Yeah, and that right there, like that 40 to 50, that's the sweet spot right there for pinning right there, and I love when a punter can do that. And something I wanted to note about that last play, I saw Easton Bretzing run kind of that same line right up the middle they scored on earlier in the game. So it looks like they're going to try to keep on going back to that. So you might want to see if they do go back to that again later throughout the night, something to keep an eye on.
Hansen back to receive the punt. And it's a beauty. Hansen from the 13. Hansen to the 20. Looked like he got face masked. And here comes the laundry. Caleb Hadley was the one that pulled his helmet off, and I mean, if that wasn't a face mask, I don't know what was.
Yeah, I think as soon as Caleb made contact on that, it was a hand on the face mask all the way down to the ground, so no doubt about that. It was actually an official on the backside of the play who ended up throwing a flag. So that's going to set up, take away that good punt. Good field position right now. Another mishap for special teams.
So that's going to move the ball up from the 20 all the way up to the 35-yard line. Excellent field position here for the Aviators. Alexander Timberlip, Alex Amrine here on this pleasant Friday night from Eagle Mountain, Utah. Timpanogos football presented by Brent Brown Toyota Scion. It is 17-12 in favor of Timpanogos, but Cedar Valley has it back, and the handoff immediately goes up the middle to Clayson Jenkins, and he runs into the stack for about maybe 4 yards.
And so right about now, you're in 4-minute offense time. So what you want to do, if you're the Aviators, of course you want to get points on the board, but you want to make sure there's no time for the Timberwolves to come out and also get some points before halftime. Remember, the Timberwolves started off with the ball, meaning the Aviators will get the ball back at the start of the second half. What they're going to do here, grab that lead and then come out and increase it at the start of the third quarter and chew the rest of this clock out here in the second.
Aviators still have all 3 of their timeouts. Here's Jenkins again. Jenkins runs into the umpire, still on his feet, into the secondary, down he goes, close to midfield. MJ Yosefo finally brought him down, but not before he picked up 10 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and a great job right there. I mean, expected them to go back to the ground on this one, or at least a short pass. Jenkins right there, what he showed me is the tenacity of a certain running back known by the name of Christian McCaffrey, who always just fights for yards each and every little bit, will not go down to first contact. I'm sure this guy's stats after first contact are ridiculous for how many yards. Our cameraman holding on to the camera steady. We apologize for the shakiness.
Gosh. Yeah, Tino Psyche's having to hang on for dear life here as Thompson throws. That's complete. Another flag goes down. And I believe this is going to be another ineligible man downfield against the Aviators.
And that was the same official earlier that just so casually pulled out that flag for the same thing. Let's see what the call is, but it looks like that will be the same thing. That was so casual. They're getting used to these flags tonight.
Ineligible and downfield.
There you go.
On the Aviators.
Thought so.
5-yard penalty.
The pass was complete to Kekai Baker on the sideline, but all for naught as it was called back for that ineligible man down the field. We've seen quite a few of those tonight.
Oh, we have, yeah. And I think that happens when you have, two offenses like to have that play action style offense. But hey, if anything's a consolation, it gives you more yards, and that means more time that you're able to chew off the clock. Because sometimes they might score too quickly.
Oh, Thompson dropped the snap, and he's going to have to eat it as Vance comes in and swings him down in the backfield, and it just went from bad to worse.
Yeah.
But at the very least, they didn't turn it over.
Yeah, Thompson right there. It looked like he might have tried to get the ball out before he hit the ground to save themselves from the sack. I think that was a good call. That could, those very easily when you're going down can just slip out of your hand. That could have been, from bad to complete disaster.
So 2nd down and a mile now. 2nd and 25 from the 35. Backward, at least where they started. Double wide receivers either side. Here's Thompson on 2nd and long. Throws. That's complete on the sideline to Johnson. And Johnson's going to get taken down out of bounds at the 45. Yosefo and Glitster over there to make the stop. And once again, it will be 3rd down and long here for the Aviators. Offenses have seemed to have stalled out a bit since the active start we had.
It looks like the defense has made the necessary adjustments. It's a bit of a tone shift again. I'm always a big fan of a big defensive game as much as a shootout, so, I'm all here for it, a bit of a variety in this game. Interesting to see what they're going to do right here. Run it, keep the clock running, or if they will try to pick up the first down on 3rd.
Thompson on the screen. That's open. That's caught. And for a first down, close to it is Jenkins. He's going to have it, and that's some.
Number 4, Clayson Jenkins.
How about let's just keep the chains moving?
Yeah, keep the chains moving. I think keep the clock rolling. It looks like the ref did signal him for to stop. I thought he did stay in bounds right there, but a great job by Jenkins. Keep on finding breaking tackles. I think that he even jumped, maybe even hurtled over a guy he couldn't see in the midst of all the madness down there. But what a play by Jenkins. He has sure been an explosive and very fun player to watch so far in this game.
Clayson Jenkins picking up 25 there on third down and long. And now he gets the handoff again on first down, and he's got a hole. Jenkins, first down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
And one thing that I've seen Jenkins do, as soon as he comes into contact with one of these defensive players, he likes to get his legs super high. That makes it all the more tough as a defensive player, as you're trained to tackle low. To get their legs wrapped up, he's making it difficult for these defenders.
Triple wide receiver lines up now to the right. And Thompson will now audibilize from the shotgun. Again, Aviators have all 3 timeouts. 1:40 and rolling here inside the stadium. Thompson hands off to Jenkins up the middle. And Jenkins will get twisted to the turf at about the 16-yard line, pickup of 7.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the first times tonight we've seen him taken down relatively easy. Of course, I think it still took 2 men to eventually bring him down. A good little pickup right there. Keep this clock running before halftime.
Jaden Robinson comes in. MJ Yosefo goes out. On 2nd down and 4 from the 17. Thompson, so much time. He can read a calendar back there. Now fires in the flat, complete to Baker. Baker gets a block at the 15. He has the first down. He's going to get thrown back, but he should have enough for the first down with 56 seconds to go. And with that, Weston Zabriskie is going to use the first of his 3 timeouts.
Yeah, what a play by Kai Baker, and Thompson right there. You know, he's looking through his progressions. I was wondering if he was going to run up the middle. He had a little bit of a gap. We haven't seen too much running for him, but he finds Kai Baker on the right side. Kai Baker, he says to the defenders, hey, let's dance. Picks up right there, starting up second, and very manageable with the perfect amount of time on the clock, I think, before the halftime.
Next week, KSL Sports Rewind brings you one of the premier rivalries in Utah high school football as Lone Peak travels to American Fork to write another chapter in the edition of the Timpanogos Highway Showdown. Lone Peak and American Fork, that's next Friday, 7 o'clock on KSLSports.com. Mark Winterton, Jake Hatch have the call for you then. If it's Friday night, it must be KSL Sports Rewind Friday night. Alexander Timolip, Alex Amrine here at Eagle Mountain, Utah for Cedar Valley versus Timpanogos. So, Alex Amrine, as we come out of the timeout here, what are we looking for here with Cedar Valley? They still have 2 timeouts.
You know, I mean, so far we've seen the running game. You know, it's not like they've been able to stop it, so why not keep on going back to it? I could very well see them trying to switch it up, but, you know, if I'm the coach for this Cedar Valley Aviators team, I'm keeping it on the ground, keep that clock running, and eventually get it in for 6.
Austin Heaps trying to figure out where the spot's going to be. They'll measure it. It's going to be 3rd down and, geez, a chain link and a half, if anything. Stacked up on the line here on 3rd down and less than a half a foot. They hand it to Fisher, and he has got it. And he'll struggle forward to the 10, and they'll stop the clock while they move the chains.
And there's that fullback dive again. I'd like to go to that on these short situations.
Aviator first down.
Clock now rolling. Again, Aviators still have 2 timeouts left.
You know, it's interesting when you're in this territory where you're at like the 11 or 12 yard line, because it's basically 1st and goal, even though you can't technically pick up another first down.
And it is right now. Here's the handoff to Jenkins. Tripped up just inside the 5 and down to the 4. And Weston Zabriskie immediately signals and is granted a timeout with 27 seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, coach came out running, tried to signal the ref, hey, stop. We want to figure out what we want to do right here. You know, and it's so hard when you get into situations because, you know, you're thinking, oh, we're right here, we can score. But, you know, this end zone, sometimes it acts as the perfect 12th, 13th man on defense. That's a whole other thing you have to game plan with, because not only does the field shrink, you know, with that comes your playbook shrinking as well.
KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school football is presented by Western Governors University, where you can make 2022 the year of you. You can go to wgu.edu to sign up for your chance to get a scholarship at Western Governors University. Get your degree on your own time at your own pace. Go to wgu.edu to learn more. Online, accredited, affordable. That's the power of the nonprofit University of You, WGU. 27 seconds left here in the first half. 17-12 in favor of Timpanogos. So, Alex Amrine, it's been the Clayson Jenkins show so far here on this drive, but it really wouldn't surprise me if they go to the play action here, wouldn't it?
No, I mean, that's when you run the play action, right? Because they're going to bite on it. At least you'd think that they would after the success that Jenkins has had on the ground here tonight. I think if they go through the air, look for Johnson right there, number 5. He's lining up at the bottom of your screen right there. I can see a little slant across the middle. Even throw it up for him. He's got that height. I think he's the guy that you want to go for.
27 seconds on our clock. 2nd and goal. Play action. Thompson rolling for the corner. Touchdown, Cedar Valley.
Thompson around the left end, scurries in for a Aviator touchdown.
Well, when you see the pylon go down, that's when you know the play goes up. Good job right there, getting the lead before halftime. Good job by Thompson. And like I said, he was looking for Johnson, but I don't even know if that was drawn up to go to Johnson. Might have just been to draw away the defenders, keep it in the back of the end zone, and let Thompson run there for the pylon and the score.
22 seconds left here in the first half. And they'll go for 2 again. Remember, they missed earlier to try to make it a 3-point game, and they will now try to make it a 3-point game once more. It's a pitch to Jenkins and a reverse to Johnson, who's going to throw for Connor Thompson, but it's incomplete, and there is no flag.
Yeah, right there. He threw it up for Johnson. And I don't think that he realized that he had number 45 who scored earlier, Brian Vogel. He was going across the middle right there. I think he has eyes focused on receiver number 1, the quarterback himself, Connor Thompson.
Wow, Alex Amrine, what a first half we've had. This has been pretty much everything we thought it would be and then some.
It's been very exciting, and like we talked about, special teams errors always add a little spice and flavor to the game. It's certainly been the case with that tonight. And right there, good job by the Aviators, playing the clock to their advantage, not letting there be time enough on the clock for the Timberwolves to come out and do anything offensively. And then, it's their ball again. And with the 1-point lead, they're going to have the time to discuss at halftime what they want to do, how they want to continue to stump this Timberwolves offense on their defensive side and continue to put points on the board. I've been very impressed with the way the Aviators have responded to the early effort and tenacity shown by the Timberwolves side when they showed up on that opening drive.
Yeah, that's right. Amrine pointed it out. Timpanogos was up 10-0 within seconds, really. But since then, it's been 18-7 in favor of the Aviators. Elijah Holman set to kick off. And it's a squib kick. And it's taken by one of the Upmen. And getting taken down right at the 30. For Timpanogos is number 17. That's Liam Fuller.
Yeah, sometimes you get those little pooch kicks just to run some time off the clock.
He's brought down at the
right there, chewed off about 5, I think.
31-yard line. Where Timpanogos will take over.
Well, this is interesting, Amrine. I mean, you got 2 timeouts in 17 seconds. I mean, you would think Austin Heat's might chance it, but we've seen stranger things.
I know. And honestly, right here with the offensive game like this, I say that you go for it, make something happen. And like I pointed out earlier, it is the Cedar Valley side that's going to get the ball back. Why not try to regain the lead? I mean, it would be a long field goal. Maybe just try for one explosive play. But like you said, 2 timeouts. I don't know. I say you go for it right here.
17 seconds to go. Livingston, they are going to go for it. The throw in the flat is caught. And out of bounds goes Easton Bretzing with about 12 seconds left here in the first half.
And these are some of my favorite parts of games where, you just see good clock management right here, especially when it's like, there's 4-minute offense, 2-minute offense, but hey, you got less than 30-second offense. Sometimes we see some really great plays and some really creative play calling.
12 seconds to go. Livingston throws in the flat. That's complete to Hadley. And he's going to be marked at the marker. And they're going to make sure that they call a timeout here. They're going to mark him short by about a chain link.
Yeah, so that leaves him with 1 timeout. So you think maybe you can get a quick play off. But with 6 seconds, you run the risk of not even be able to get another one off. So you might think it's just Hail Mary time to throw it up for one of your receivers.
Coming up at halftime, Amrine and I will have our thoughts from the first half and look forward to the second half of what's been a very entertaining game here this evening. And we'll have some updates for you on scores from around the state. We know this is not the only game a lot of people are watching here tonight. I mean, this has been a very entertaining first half, to say the least. It's been sloppy, Amrine. There's been a lot of penalties and a lot of special teams errors, but it's all made for good theater here in the first half.
No, for sure. And like you pointed out earlier, one thing that seems to have been figured out, at least for a little bit there until the Aviators took the lead, was the defense. The defensive sides look like they have a bit more, figured out. I'm expecting the Timberwolves to try and game plan a bit more and figure out how to stop Jenkins from running the ball as effectively as he has been.
This will be the last play of the first half. Livingston's just going to throw as far as he can, and it's incomplete. There's still 1 second left on the clock. Graf the intended target. And this is probably going to be a situation where you can either throw it downfield 50, 60 yards, or you can just concede and just run it.
Second down and 10, Timpanogos.
And it looks like they're just going to go with the running play here. It looks like Bretzing will line up in the backfield. And it is. And Livingston gets to the sideline, needs a couple of blocks. He's going to get taken down, and that will do it for a very entertaining first half here in Eagle Mountain, Utah. The score at the half is 18-17 in favor of the Aviators, so Timpanogos started fast. The Aviators responded thusly, and this is a great second half we're set up for.
Yeah, and it's so interesting. We've had a few very decisive calls that I'm very curious to see what the score of this game would be, what the story of this game would be, had those calls not gone in favor. We've had a few that have gone in favor of the Aviator side, a few that have gone in favor of the Timberwolves side. Nevertheless, this game is dead even, 1 point apart with the Aviators in the lead. Like I said just a second ago before the end of the second quarter, I'm very curious to see what the Timberwolves try to do to slow down Jenkins, because I think that he is the guy that you need to solve. I mean, we've had offensive players all over the field. We see what Thompson can do through the air, throwing to Johnson time and time again, but Jenkins is the guy that's been lethal.
Welcome back to KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of high school football. This is Timpanogos Football, KSL Sports Rewind, presented by Brett Brown Toyota Scion. Alexander Timolip, Alex Amrine here with you at Cedar Valley High School. The Aviators of Cedar Valley lead Timpanogos 18-17 as we get set to start the third quarter. Okay, Amrine, I turn to you. First thing I say is we saw a entertaining but very sloppy first half between two Region 7 contenders. And as we speak right now, Stansbury is only up by 13 against Tula at halftime. So this is a huge second half coming up for both these teams.
Yeah, and that's a big storyline you got to follow, and then the outcome of this game. And like we talked about, sloppy plays. And usually I feel like sloppy games don't have a tendency to clean themselves up. So I'm expecting more penalties. I mean, we've seen a lot of holding, a lot of ineligible issues downfield just because of the style of offenses that both these teams like to play with. And who knows? It could come down to a weird penalty or a messed up play, end up totally changing the rankings in this region.
As we speak, Stansbury is 2-0 right now. They lead by 13, as we just said, against Tula at halftime. Cedar Valley, with a win, will take over top spot temporarily at 3-0, but Timpanogos, should they win, will put them at 2-1. Cedar Valley will be at 2-1. And should Stansbury stumble tonight against Tula, that blows this region wide open.
Yeah, and I'm always a fan of that. I mean, who's not? You want to see a fight, for that title right until the very end right here. So plenty of storylines to follow across the rest of the night. A storyline I want to see right here in the second half is which offense is going to be able to wear out the defense faster. And by that, I mean, I think it comes down to just a variety of play. Run the ball, then it opens up the pass, keep this defense guessing. I think there's one thing about physical exhaustion, but just mental exhaustion as well. Whoever is able to more effectively keep the other defense guessing, I think wins this game.
Nathan Banry, Clayson Jenkins back to take the kickoff from Harris Reed to start the third quarter. A huge 24 minutes on this Friday night here in Eagle Mountain. Of course, we'll have updates on other scores from around Utah tonight. But we invite you to settle back in and watch as Reed sends us away. And the kickoff will go through the end zone. That's a touchback to the 20-yard line. And that will bring out Cooper Thompson and the offense. And so far, what we've seen, Amrine, especially down near the end of that first half, was the Clayson Jenkins show.
Yeah, Jenkins, I mean, I think that one play that really opened up and showed us that like he's here to ball. I mean, we've seen him ball throughout the season, but really made his presence known in this game. He had a run into the left. I can't remember which quarter it was, but he just, as soon as he found a lane, boom, he just turned it into second gear and just went down the field. It didn't result in a touchdown, but it ended up becoming a scoring drive for this Aviators offense. So I'm expecting more of the same from here on out. I'm expecting them to at least target him. Timberwolves, you know, I think that one thing they got to do is they really got to collapse the middle of the field. They've had tons of just open alleys for their running backs to work with. They got to close that down if they have any hope of slowing down Jenkins.
Well, it's not Jenkins, it's Joel Lomu that starts the third quarter. Number 44. We are set to go on this cool night here in South Central Utah. And it's a pitch to Lomu on first down. And he's got the edge. He's at the 20. Makes a man miss at the 30. Hurdles over a man. And he's got the first down out to about the 32-yard line. And theme of the night, Amrine, the offense has been rolling. And Joe Lomu just keeps that going.
Yeah, Lomu right there. Great job right there. But an even better job by Taken Hansen, number 14, on that block right there. He did a great job opening up that alley on the outside for Lomu right there. Good job picking up the first down on the very first play of the second half.
13 yards on the pickup there for Joe Lomu. Fisher goes in motion on 1st and 10. They hand it to him again, and Lomu again into the secondary. And he picks up about 5 this time as we have another flag, theme of the night. As somebody was caught standing over Tyson Miller, the linebacker, and that is not a smart penalty.
That was Nick Tuakoi right there, standing over them. Maybe had some few choice words for the guy that he put onto the ground. Ref's not having any of that. That was just unsportsmanlike right there. And that's a way to kill a drive right there. There's no need for it.
5-yard gain for the Aviators.
So it's a dead ball foul, so the down will count. And immediately Weston Zabriskie calls for Tuakoi to go out. And the offensive line coach just yanked him aside, and he is not happy.
I mean, the momentum's all on your side right there. I mean, I think that's going to be part of the frustration with the coach right now. I mean, everything's going your way. You got a good offensive just running scheme going right now, and then you have a player who goes and does something selfish like that. That's going to slow down the team. So that's why he's out of this play. He's got to learn his lesson right here.
So they'll back them up 15 yards from the spot of the foul. And that's a big penalty, Amrine, like I said, because that makes the down count. And it's not a penalty you want, especially to start the second half.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just a drive killer. It's just it's a tone setter when you have good offensive games, also a tone setter when you have a penalty like that in any phase of the game, but especially when it goes against you after you have the ball rolling.
And now we're going to have another discussion of where the ball's supposed to be spotted, because the foul occurred, Amrine, at where? About the 24, 25-yard line. So if it's marked off 15 from the spot of that foul, then it should be half the distance to the goal line, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I think so right here when you're backed up. I'm not sure exactly what the rules are, as a matter of fact. I guess I'll learn right here. But, I mean, you'd think that it would just be from where the play ended, I'd have to imagine, rather than the spot of the foul, since that kind of foul could happen really anywhere.
Well, so here comes Todd Tharp, the referee. He's going to walk over to Weston Zabriskie and discuss thusly. I'd like to bring you up to date on some scores we're watching from around the state on KSLSports.com. West leading Hunter 44-0. As the stands are shaking again here at Cedar Valley High. American Fork and Corner Canyon in the third quarter right now, late on. CC leads AF 21-7. And Skyridge is leading Westlake 49-0 right now in the third quarter. And halftime right now, Lone Peak is leading PG 17-7. I mean, you talk about Lone Peak early on. I mean, I watched that game against Timpview. It's looking more and more like that Timpview game was a blip on the radar.
Yeah, and a lot of interesting storylines from the outcomes of the game. And, we talked about it right before halftime, I think, about the Lone Peak American Fork game that's going to be going down next Friday. That's going to be an exciting one. And, Corner Canyon playing against AF. That's a good game right there. Corner Canyon, as always, such a good, quarterback factory school.
Well, Thompson's a pretty good quarterback himself as he fires that one out into the flat, caught there by KJ Fisher. Bretzing on the tackle. And yeah, I mean, you talked about it just now. I mean, that region is stacked with talent. I mean, we've seen, I dare say even Westlake could make a run in the playoffs in 6A because that's how good all those teams are in Region 4.
Yeah, no, it's exciting when you got these talented players, especially going into their senior years. Because, you know, this is that time where they start visiting colleges, start talking with them. I mean, heck, we even know that Luke Livingston took a visit to the BYU Baylor game. And as a matter of fact, Luke Livingston has had some talks himself with a school that's a favorite of yours.
Thank you very much. Yes, he did respond to a tweet by University of Hawaii Director of Recruiting Personnel, Silas Clapham, earlier this week. As that pass was incomplete, intended for Kekai Baker. And 3 and out for the Aviators to start the second half. And that penalty on Tuakoi was a real killer.
Yeah, that was a killer right there. And now it's time for the Timberwolves to respond, take advantage of it.
Livingston stands back near his 30. It's a low snap, and it's not a good punt. And this is a really bad punt. Now this is going to go out of bounds near the 43. Just a 12-yard punt. Excellent field position here for the Timberwolves.
Well, I don't always like to be harsh, but I'll be blunt. That's got to be one of the worst punts I've ever seen. He did have a lot of pressure on that one. But, I mean, we talked about things going Timberwolves' way. How about a penalty right there that puts them in bad field goal range but forces them to punt? About a 15-yard punt, and now they're already in Aviator side of the field.
That was so funny. I think you got our cameraman Tino Psyche over here laughing his head off. Well, to be blunt, yes, that was probably one of the worst punts we've seen all year. As Livingston hands off to Bretzing on the right side. He's got a lane at the 40, at the 35, and he's brought down at about the 33-yard line. Hansen there on the stop, but not before he picked up another first down.
You know, one thing that this Timberwolves offense has done very well tonight is spread the field with these outside runs. It just makes the defense so much more tired, gives them so much more space to run. And he did the same thing right there on that play.
Yep, Caleb Hadley there out of bounds. Clock stops with 10:21 to go here in the third. Here's a handoff to Bretzing again. And Hansen couldn't bring him down. Bretzing still on his feet, fighting for yardage. He's going to be very close to a first down. Tegan Hansen, well, we've been singing the praises of him. He came up, missed the tackle, and now here we go quick on 3rd down and 2. And Livingston will audibilize.
Yeah, Bretzing he's been channeling a fight on some of these runs.
3rd down and less than 2 here. Livingston throws right side. That pass is dropped. And right through the hands of Gabe Graff. And it's 4th down, and they're close enough. And I think you're close enough, Amron. You go for this.
Yeah, you're right here. You got to take full advantage of it. What a hit by Jaden Jordan. He's been going all over here and get some great hits. Great hit right there on Gabe
Livingston
Graff.
Gets away. Got him out wide open, and it's caught. No, it's out of bounds. Bretzing was out of bounds. Bretzing slid down out of bounds. His foot was on the sideline out of bounds.
And that's so tough because he was so focused on making sure that he got his arms underneath that ball and secured the catch. He didn't even think about the fact that he was tiptoeing the sideline himself as he was going down. Must have just touched the sideline. Good call by the ref right there, making sure that it was the right call on the field. But what a killer on that one.
We'll be back after this quick word from UCCU.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Welcome back, everybody. KSL Sports Rewind's presentation of Timpanogos football continues as the Aviators take over. And now here's Jenkins with a hole at the 40, at the 50. Down he goes, close to midfield. Nash Price saved the touchdown, but not before Clayson Jenkins picked up another 22 yards.
You know, if Janoris Jenkins were a superhero in the Avengers, superpower would always be making the first man miss, as he just did right there. He puts these boys on skates. And I love to see it because once he puts them on skates, he's got a bit of room ahead of him. Like I said, he did in the first half. Just boom, puts it on the Jets. Get a big chunky yardage right there.
Jenkins has to be getting close to 100 yards rushing for the third consecutive game. He went over 100 last week. It's another pitch to that side, and this time Jenkins is run over and powers forward. Not before, though, he gets another 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah, how about that right there? It looked like he was, almost stopped just a bit past, the line of scrimmage right there, and then all of a sudden we see him pop out of that hole, and he picks up 4 or 5. He just keeps those legs turning.
2nd down and 6 now from the 47. Aviators lead by 1. They've scored 18 of the last 25 points.
That was a good hard count right there. Looks like the defensive end on the far side almost bit.
Hand off quickly goes to Lomu. And Lomu struggles forward. He'll pick up about maybe 4. And once again, it will be 3rd down and about 3. And this probably is 4-down territory given the fact they're going into the wind.
Oh, no, absolutely. I mean, the Timberwolves are doing it. I think that you have to respond as well. Just showing that yourself as a team say, hey, you're going to do that to us on our own territory? Fine, we'll do it to you guys. This is our turf. You got to have that kind of attitude.
3rd down and 2. All on the 43-yard line. Lomu remains in the backfield. They give it to him on the dive play, and he's got a hole. 35, 30. Down the sideline and knocked out of bounds inside the 25.
And off to number 44, Joe Lomu.
Joe Lomu stopped there, but not before he picked up another 1st down. Parsons with the tackle.
I mean, these dual threats of running backs. You got Lomu, you got Jenkins. When one gets tired, put in the other. They'll get the job done as Lomu did right there. Jenkins come back on the field. Let's see if it's his turn to tear up the turf.
Under 8 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Timpanogos trails by 1.
Looks like they could have an open receiver on the left if they go right here.
And they will as Thompson throws that way. It's caught. Touchdown, Cedar Valley.
Pass complete to number 20, Aviators.
And like I said on that play, they just had 2 guys over there. The safety playing over top, but he was starting to drop down, probably expecting Jenkins to have the run, so he wanted to be that last coverage right there. And it was a play action. Made the safety bite him. By the time that he realized it was a pass, it was too late. Aviator scored. Great touchdown right there. Good job taking advantage of the secondary.
Cooper Klein with the reception for the touchdown, his first of the season. And for Cooper Thompson, that is his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. As we have another flag down for an offside on the extra point.
Well, Connor Thompson might not have won Homecoming King, but he sure won Aviator King of this game. I mean, he's made their mascot proud for sure. He's dominated in the air. We know what a good quarterback he's been. I believe it now is his 13th touchdown on the year through the air.
Elijah Holman now for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is good.
Holman's kick is up and good.
25-17 in favor of Cedar Valley. We look at the clock, 7:47 to go here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be back after this word from Brent Brown Toyota Scion and Western Governors University on KSLSports.com. Isaac Klein with the last touchdown catch for the Cedar Valley Aviators, who have now scored 25 of the last 32 points. Elijah Holman kicks off. It's a short kick. That'll be taken on the run by Lewis. And Lewis gets tackled at about the 23-yard line. Well, Amrine, this is it. I mean, this is a huge drive here for Timpanogos. They have got to respond.
Yeah, this is a tone setter right now. I mean, now down by 8. I mean, it's still, technically a 1-score game. But, if they want to respond, we talked about last week, 35 points scored against them in a quarter. Obviously, I don't think that's going to happen here tonight, but we know how quickly games can get away, and especially we've seen how games can get away from this team in particular. And this Cedar Valley team does not...
They scored 21, did these Timberwolves, in the 3rd quarter against Mountain View back on September the 2nd, as that pass is caught by Hadley. Good start to the drive. He's out of bounds at about the 32-yard line, a pickup of 7. Livingston throws. That's complete again to Hadley on the sideline. And he's going to be close to a 1st down. We'll see where they mark him. And they're going to say he stepped out of bounds.
Steps out of bounds.
So no gain.
Brings up
And this is a huge third down here.
Yeah.
3 yards.
Clock is stopped with 7:30 to go here in the third quarter. A huge third down here for the Wolves.
Watch this screen game.
And looks like they're going that way. Livingston in trouble. Livingston gets out of pressure now, throws up the sideline to the coverage, and it's caught! Brensing
Livingston scrambled.
somehow made the throw and the catch on the sideline. I have no clue how Brensing was able to get up there and make the play.
Yeah, I don't know what was the best part of that play. You had the rollout, getting away from the 2 defenders, chasing after Livingston, the toss up from Livingston, and the leap and catch by Brensing over the, pretty much out of the hands of the defenders. What's going on right here? You got the refs talking.
The referees are discussing something here. What could this be?
You don't see any flags on the play.
Yeah, there's no flags down on the field. What could they possibly be discussing? I mean, we don't mean to sound like homers here, folks, but there's no flags down on the play.
They're moving the ball.
They're moving the ball back?
Maybe he was down when he was getting tackled. Because it did look like he went down a little bit and then he picked himself up again. I don't know. I would be shocked. I don't even know what the call would be if it's not a first down, and it looks like it's not going to. Oh, there is a flag.
And there is a flag. And it's 12 men against Timpanogos.
Illegal participation.
Illegal participation.
12
I haven't
men
heard
on the
that one.
field. That's
I've heard 12 men on the field. Illegal participation. Never heard it worded that way.
I do not understand what just happened. So apparently somebody must have run off the field on that?
All right, 3rd and long. Maybe look for Graf, number 9 right there, lined up in the slot on our near side.
3rd down and 16 now. And Livingston gets out of trouble, and he's going to be sacked.
Sacked hard at that.
Scrambles where he's sacked out of bounds by number 24, Travion Marshall.
Travion Marshall brought him down.
Brings up 4th down.
And it's 4th down, and that's not what Timpanogos wanted. They're a 3 and out.
No, and it's so hard when you're pinching your own territory like that, and then you have to punt it away, because the problem is, unless you got, one heck of a punter back there, that's going to set up this Aviators team with great field position. And hey, they don't score? Fine. We'll just pin you back again, and we'll just keep on doing this process until your offense does something.
Reed to kick it away. And again,
a long snapper wasn't out there.
Jeez Louise.
Penalty on the play.
And Timpanogos just looks all over the place right now. I mean, this is probably the most disjointed we've seen them all season long.
Hey, well, I said sloppy games have a tendency to not clean themselves up. Consistency.
From the 6.
And again, they're a man short.
Oh, watch
this
number
time
8
it's
right
Jaden
here.
Robinson. This time it's Jaden Robinson who's short. And Jaden Jordan's the one that Amron's pointing out as Reed gets off a good one. And Hansen has it go over his head. Picks it up on the run. And he gets a block. Penalty flag goes down again for what looks like a block in the back. I mean, we saw that one from all the way up here, Amron. That was a clear and obvious penalty. And it wasn't a smart one at that.
Yeah, and I mean, he came in at the side. I think it'd be called either way, personally. For me, I think these blocks in the back are so common. I err on the side of, unless it's just absolutely blatant, don't throw the flag. But after the slip up on not catching that one, I mean, they catch a break right there, going to set him up on the Timberwolves side of the field.
And there is no flag, so that's what I thought. That's the right call, because it didn't look like he was coming from the back. It looked like he hit him more from the side.
Yeah, and it looked like
it wasn't a block in the back.
Sure that he was going from the side too. Right. It looked like there was a bit of hesitation right there, which is, as soon as I saw the flag coming out, I knew what it was for. I just didn't agree with that call.
So the Aviators will take over now at the 47, as they're just trying to figure out where the ball's going to be spotted. Reset the play clock to 25, and we'll go. And off we go. Jenkins lines up in the backfield. And they give to him. And Jenkins just tearing his way through that Timpanogos front seven now. Another pickup of 9.
Jenkins fights forward for a 9-yard gain. Brought down at the
And this
45.
Aviators line is starting to get a little bit of a push up front, Amrine.
Correction. A 7-yard gain.
Another big chunk ripped off there by Jenkins, who has to be running close to 100 yards rushing here tonight.
Yeah, and while the running game looks, I'm expecting them to go a bit more in the air right now, maybe even to Johnson, who's lined one-on-one close-up covers that lines up the deep ball sometimes, so they do decide to go deep. But
And it looks like they're going that way as Thompson is hit as he throws, but he's got Baker! Down inside the 5! First and goal, Cedar Valley. They have this offense rolling on all cylinders. 40 yards on the play, first and goal, Cedar Valley.
Kakai Baker, that's not his first catch of the night. We saw him have another great one earlier. That one, a great play right there. I think there was so much focus on what Johnson has done. And this is what happens when you have so many good players. Sometimes it just leaves open that little X-Factor guy right there, as you had Kakai Baker right there. Good play right there. Set him up first and goal at the 5.
Thompson to Jenkins. Not gonna go anywhere. What a play there by Vaughn. So by Joe Vance coming up from that defensive tackle position and taking him down in the backfield. That was Lomo on the carry, excuse me.
And Joe Vance on the tackle, taking down Loman right there, and he wasn't alone. He had another Timberwolf, little entourage behind him, ready to take him down in case he was slipping out of the tackle, like these running backs have been doing all night long.
This homecoming crowd draped in black, rocking and rolling here on a Friday night. Cedar Valley has scored 25 of the last 32 points in this game. Fisher goes in motion. Thompson looks his way, throws his way, batted down and incomplete. Well, if there's one guy that's not giving up, that's Vance right there. That's his second big play in a row.
Yeah, Vance right there. Sometimes when you just get a good tackle, it just motivates you, then you just feel like you're in it right there. Hey, spot a pass. That ain't bad either. Let's see him get into this next play.
Big third down here for Cedar Valley. Theme of the night, Amrine. Both teams have been able to be good on third and fourth down, but if you're Timpanogos, you hold them to 3 here. That's a win.
I mean, you got to, yeah. And I think either way for this Cedar Valley side, hey, 3 is a win right here based on the way that this game has gone. Either way, it's a win, but 7 is ideal.
And they're going to give it to Lomu. Is he going to get the corner? Yes! Touchdown, Cedar Valley!
Lomu around the right side. 8-yard carry, touchdown, Joe Lomu.
Lomu right there, great job. What he did, going up against Robbie Parsons one-on-one, he pulls in like he's going to run upfield, making Robbie Parsons bite, but Lomu's got the speed just as much as Jenkins does, and he pulls outside and he just runs for the end zone, beating Parsons on that outside run, gets the angle. Good job right there, smart play.
Second touchdown of the game for Joe Lomu. Extra point by Holman is no good. He pulled it to the left. So it remains a 31-17 game here, Amrine, and 31 of the last 38 now have been scored by the Cedar Valley Aviators.
Yeah, I mean, this game is just so interesting now, and so many weird scoring possibilities and scenarios have been created because of the mishaps on special teams right there. It goes from a 15-point game to a 14-point game, eliminating the need for Timpanogos to go for 2 at some point if they have any hope of tying this game. Now they can just score 2 touchdowns, kick the extra points, tie it up. But hey, they got to score those touchdowns first.
And they better do it now. They'll be going into the win in the fourth quarter, which is increasingly becoming a
lot of times shoot off the clock.
Stinging cold wind here at Eagle Mountain. Elijah Holman will kick off. And it's a line drive. Played on the hop and picked up on the run by Tyler Hunter, and he gets taken down at, call it right about the 24-ish yard line. And so now here comes Timpanogos.
24-yard line, where Timpanogos takes over 1st and 10 from the 24.
Huge drive here, Amrine, as we're freezing our tails off up here in the cold wind.
Oh, yeah, and one thing that I've noticed about this team, they stopped doing as many of like those just a roll it out of the pocket kind of plays right there. I think that the reason for that is because they've had so many penalties based on those plays, but it worked. I mean, I think that you run the risk, you try doing that again, or give the ball to your running back, Brett Singh, because he's done a phenomenal job as far as his offense is concerned.
Livingston, and there you go, on cue, they're going to roll him out. He's got a lot of room to run, and he's going to have a couple of blocks downfield, and he's out of bounds at about the 38-yard line, so right on cue, Amrine, you said it, and they did it.
I mean, if it ain't broke, go back to it. I mean, there were some problems with it, so they fixed it up. The whole time, as soon as I the guys looked at the offensive line, looked at where they were going, because you don't want any penalties on there when they're unnecessary.
38-yard line now, 1st and 10, high pass to the sideline, pass is caught, and a great open field tackle there by Jordan on Gabe Graff, but Graff was still able to pick up about 4 or 5 yards, and here come the Wolves right back to the line again.
Yeah, and Jordan, now here's a guy who just keeps on pounding on his players, and I think as a wide receiver, you start to flinch a little bit, and that can lead to drop passes because you're expecting those big hits to come.
Livingston up the middle in the stack, he got nothing. And this is a big-time 3rd down here, Amrine, for the Timpanogos offense with 3 minutes to go. Still a lot of football to be played, but this is huge.
It's still a lot, and I think, we've seen a lot of plays where they go for it on 4th. This is not the ideal situation. You want to do that, so you want to convert right here. Keep this drive going.
A late snap, and the pass is wide and incomplete, intended for Josh Graff, and now it's 4th down, and
6 for Timpanogos.
I feel like you got to punt it here, Amrine, but...
Yeah, and like I just said, I don't think this is the time to go for it. It looks like they maybe like they did it earlier, they're going to try the hard count, make it... I don't think that would pick up the 1st down, but make it 4th and very close. Maybe in that scenario you go for it, but not right here when you have about 4 and 7 yards to go.
And still 2:50 to go here in the 3rd, plus 12 minutes to go. You still have 15 minutes of game time.
And your timeouts to boot.
Well, they are going to go for it. And Livingston is going to throw into coverage. Graff got pushed out of bounds, and here comes a flag.
As soon as he got pushed out of bounds, I was just waiting for the flag to come out. It took the ref a little bit, but I'm happy to see that flag on the play.
Graff got shoved out of bounds by Jordan, who's been one-on-one with him all night long, Amrine, and that was pretty obvious because if he doesn't get that, probably that's going to be a touchdown.
And sometimes it's a strategy as a quarterback to look for those guys in one-on-one situations and almost hope, okay, of course you want your guy to catch it and make a sweet play, but heck, the odds of getting pass interferences are, highly in your favor in this day and age when so many people in football, there's just little tugs of the jersey here and there.
One from the back, one from the front. If people just missed it, we have a targeting foul coming up against the Aviators, and this doesn't look good. As Dash McCann got nailed on the sideline, and you never want to see something like this. And here comes Austin Heaps.
Yeah, and he took a bad hit right there. Austin Heaps coming to talk right now. Have the Aviator players taking a knee. They're going to discuss what's going on right now. You never want to see that. It was a pretty bad hit. Didn't look like anything egregious or, malicious, but, just wrong place, wrong time. Trying to force that receiver out of bounds.
I wonder out loud if they might pick up the flag here, because it didn't look like it was a helmet-to-helmet contact down right. It looked like it was shoulder-to-shoulder.
Well, and as well, one thing I was wondering about Luke Livingston on that rollout, it looked like he might have been past the line of scrimmage when he threw it, but it didn't look like a flag was on that play.
Dash McCann is up and okay. So now we're going to sort out the penalty if there is any. And it is indeed going to be a personal foul for unnecessary roughness.
Okay.
And if it wasn't a targeting, I think it's more of a hit on a defenseless receiver.
Yeah,
is probably the infraction. I mean, the crowd's not going to like it, but it is the right call.
No, yeah. And a good sportsmanship from the crowd, making sure that hurt player got up and walked over to his own sideline right there, giving him a clap when he got on his own feet. But right now, it's red zone time.
And this is big time here for Timpanogos. They need to get in the end zone. Livingston rolls to his left. Mills man goes up in the air, now takes off to the right. And now he's going to be brought down after a pickup of about 4. Brian Vogel finally chased him down from behind.
Livingston brought down after a short.
Yeah, and Livingston brought down by Vogel right there.
Second down and 7.
But, you know, before he was taken down by him, he had a little fake out in that pocket. Good play by him, at least making it a little bit of a pickup rather than a sack.
Livingston gets away from pressure. Now he's going to run to his left. Now throws into the end zone. And it's tipped. And it is incomplete. Not an interception. Hansen did not get the foot down.
I don't know.
Hansen did not get the foot down. I don't know. That looked awfully close.
I was about to say, look, there's some toe drag swag over there.
And 8 from the 12.
I don't know, Amrine. That looked pretty close to me. I thought Hansen got the foot down. Now here's Livingston to throw on third down. Penalty flag goes, no flag goes down on that one. Livingston to the end zone. Caught inside the 5. Graff again. Absolute insanity.
What a series of events right there.
Goodness gracious. Now it's 1st and goal at the 1.
Thought we had a toe drag flag pick right there. Then a little roll up, Patrick Mahomes sidearms over the middle right there. This is 1st and very short goal.
1st and goal now at the 1. Bretzing in the backfield. Livingston gives to him, and he gets in for the touchdown. And the Timberwolves answer right back. And we have a one-score game on our hands once again with 1:23 to go in the 3rd.
Game ain't over yet.
It certainly ain't over yet now. These Timberwolves are seeing to that. And it was helped out really by that penalty on pass interference on that 4th down. It looks a little bit smarter now. So Harris now for the extra point. A big one at that. It's been an adventure. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked and no good.
Harrison's kick is blocked at the line of scrimmage.
8-point game.
No good.
2-point conversions back into this one.
Special teams, again, the problem for both teams here tonight, Amrine, but you talk about a response Timpanogos needed. They definitely got it.
Yeah, and sometimes when they're trying to get a kickoff quickly to make sure that it doesn't get blocked, sometimes it just comes in low like that. And all the more possibility for it to get it tipped as it did on that play. You know, I think the 2 biggest plays on that last drive, of course, there was that great rollout by Livingston. He was able to find Graff to set up the 1st and goal, and he scored the next play. But, you know, the hit to the defenseless receiver, that was a big one. And I talked about earlier how some of this sloppy play could be the making point for this game. You know, how many times you can go back and point at this foul, or this slip up, or this special team mishap, and say, oh, that decided this game. This has been the story of this game, not just one aspect.
Harris will kick off. Johnson and Jenkins back deep. This is with the wind, and it will once again be a touchback into the checkerboards.
Harris's kick into the end zone.
And now it's time for that Timpanogos defense to come back out on the field, and they need a stop in the worst way here to end this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you want to come out here and to show your offense that you're going to do your job as well. What a game we've seen here tonight. Heck, before this game even started, we had a helicopter come down on the field and give us the game ball. I've never seen anything like that before in high school sports. Pretty cool homecoming night here at Cedar Valley High.
And we are set for a great 4th quarter here in just a few moments. As Jenkins gets the handoff up the middle, and Jenkins hops over a man. He picks up about 4 to about the 24-yard line.
And we've seen some long drives from this Aviators side right here. I wouldn't be surprised if, even though it's not, not even the 4th quarter yet, they might even start cutting into that clock and just making it, that probability of Timpanogos evening out this game just less and less.
Yeah, and as you said, they are taking some time off that play clock. Play clock is now at 20. 2nd down and 6. Under a minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Thompson to throw, throws, caught, 1st down, and more, out of bounds is K.Kai Baker. Parsons shoved him out, but not before he picked up another 1st down.
Yeah, Baker right there, he's got some speed. That was just a great out right there. Just boom, you're waiting. With that speed, he's a deep threat. And so the cornerbacks don't want to play off of him, but that opens up that short game on those little out routes and curls, as it did just there.
Clock reads 43 seconds officially here in the third quarter. Fisher comes in motion. It's a pitch to the left side to Lomu. And Lomu's going to get gang tackled at about the line of scrimmage. And that should take us to the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, let's see if they
Alex
get one more
Amrine, what a third quarter it has been.
Yeah, I mean, it's been super exciting. I'm glad to see. It's crazy to think that at halftime, they were leading by 1 point, and then we have like a whole different scenario on our hands as we're about to go into the fourth quarter, and they get the playoff it.
They'll get the playoff. It'll be Baker, and Baker with a stiff arm, and Baker will get out of bounds with 7 seconds left here in the quarter. It'll be a third down, and call it about 4 here for the Aviators, and a big one at that. And I think this is Clayson Jenkins' time.
I mean, he's been your guy. I mean, either way, it takes you to the fourth quarter. I don't think you go for it right here. You want to pin them back again, as Timpanogos offense has had some trouble stalling. The Cedar Valley has found some answers.
Play clock inside of 7. Play clock down to 4. They just get it away. And Thompson throws. Got a man open! Oh, and it's incomplete! Right through the fingers of Tegan Hansen. And I tell you what, Amrine, that's a stop Timpanogos needed. They got it, and now they're going to get the football to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they got away with him right there. He was Tegan Hansen. He had that corner's number right there. And that would have been a good gain, set him up in excellent field position to maybe even get a long field goal after a couple of good runs by Jenkins. We see the punt now.
3.5 seconds officially left here in the quarter. There's no punter, though, on the field.
I was about to say, I was wondering, this must be...
They're missing the punter out there, and now we're going to have a timeout signal for and granted.
I was wondering, this must be a specialty formation I've never seen before.
The snap would almost certainly be a fumbled snap, and that would have been a disaster.
Heck, go all the way back for a safety. Why not?
Would have made it easier for Timpanogos, because then they wouldn't have to go for 2. Then they'd only have to get a touchdown. So as we are about to enter the fourth quarter here, officially there's 3 seconds left on our clock here. We want to remind you of some scores going on around the state tonight. I mean, Skyridge dominating Westlake 62-6. Late in the fourth quarter, how about Corner Canyon leading American Fork 28-14 and Lone Peak leading 24-14? If there's any indication, Amrine, I think we're going to get to see Lone Peak and Corner Canyon play on ESPN on October 6th nationwide. I think the country's in for a treat when they get to watch that game.
I know. We know the resumes that both those schools have. And not just in football and all their sports. They're big-name schools. A lot of people know Lone Peak for their basketball program as well as their football program. And Corner Canyon, of course, the former alma mater of New York Jets quarterback Zach Wilson.
And Isaac Wilson, of course, his brother, who's now the quarterback there. It's a wobbler punt. Livingston comes up, makes the catch, and gets down on a knee. And that will take us to the fourth quarter.
Calls for a fair catch, and it's down.
Well, Alex Amrine, this is it. 12 more minutes to go in a huge fourth quarter coming up for both teams.
Yeah, and I think right as we're about to start this quarter, I think something smart to do, this game is 0-0. You got to have that mentality, especially if you're Timpanogos. Don't think about the fact that you're behind 7. Play like it's anyone's game.
30 for the first time in a long time, Amrine. I can say these words. Grab your snacks, grab your popcorn, buckle up, everybody. Fourth quarter begins.
Yeah, I mean, we've had quite a few games on our hands that we've called together. I think this is going to be one of the most ones that's close to a nail-biter.
Our first one we call was a nail-biter between Olympus and Davis back on December 11th last year as Livingston picks up about 7 yards on the scramble. And from here on out, I think it's going to be Luke Livingston's team all the way to the finish here.
Mm-hmm. We know what a special player he is. Just ride his talent all the way to the finish line.
Brings up third down and correction, second down and 3.
2nd and 3 now. Handoff is to Bretzing, looks for a hole. And he'll be short of the first down by about a yard. And obviously, this is not 4-down territory yet, but it's going to feel like that here at some point here for the Timberwolves here in the fourth quarter.
And that's kind of how I felt this whole game. It's like, I don't even know what either of these teams are going to do. I mean, the unpredictability of this game with all the weird calls, all the weird mishaps and penalties, as we've talked about over and over and over again, but also just some of the gutsy decision-making by both sides.
3rd down and 1. Bretzing in the backfield. Play clock down to 9. They just get it away. Livingston throws the screen, caught by Graff. Up the sideline he goes, and he gets rolled down at about the 43-yard line. That's enough for a first down for Timpanogos.
Yeah, we haven't seen as much of that screen game as we have in weeks past. I think as Luke Livingston has gotten more experience over the week, they've been able to expand their playbook, but right there they go back to the old reliable.
Livingston out of pressure. Now rolls to his right. Now he needs a block. He's got room to run if he wants it. And he gets about 6 or 7 down to midfield. The ball comes out after he's down. But, I mean, Livingston is just carrying this team on his back right now.
That's an unreal play right here. I mean, for me, I think that's a selling point of why a school like Brigham Young University and University of Hawaii, why they're looking to a guy with this talent. I mean, he can just take a play that looks like nothing's going to happen and just make something great happen.
Throws over the middle on that one, incomplete. It was intended to the middle of the field there for Bretzing, and again, it's another 3rd down coming up here for Timpanogos.
3rd down
and a big one.
49 for Timpanogos.
They need to get inside of Aviator territory. Livingston might do that with his legs, but he's going to launch one down the field for Graff. He's got him! No, it's intercepted! Intercepted by Jordan! Jaden Jordan with an incredible play! The first turnover of the night, and it belongs to the Aviators!
And it's surprising that it's the first one, right, considering all the madness that we've seen out here, but Jaden Jordan, he's just been waiting for his number to be called. Time and time again, he's had big hits. He has good plays all across the field. It was just his time right there on the one-on-one as Luke Livingston was trying to go for it all on a 3rd and very manageable. He rolled the dice, did not end up in his favor. Jaden Jordan, He is the house. The house always wins.
Playing with house money right there. Jaden Jordan, who's been matched up on Graff one-on-one all night long. What a time to pick to get his first interception of the season. Thompson hands off to Jenkins. Jenkins. First down and more, all the way out, close to the 20-yard line.
Hand off to number 4, Klein.
Now here it is. You're in the end game now. This is the final stretch.
12 yards on the play.
Here's where, as a defense, you've got, I think, to get a blitz going. You've got to close up those gaps. Otherwise, Jenkins and Lomu, whoever they decide to go to, they're just going to tear this team apart as this game is winding down to a close.
Still a lot of time left. 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Thompson, Jenkins. Almost 10, 11 yards, another first down.
And just, as we've seen all night, just great penetration by this Aviators offensive line, pushing back the defensive line by the time they can even get ahead and try to take down Jenkins. Jenkins is well away for them.
From the 30 now, 1st and 10. Clock ticking down close to oblivion here. Thompson from the gun. Almost got him to jump on the hard count.
I know, I thought they were going to pull a flag out there. It looked like all 4 guys in the front started to get their back heels off.
Thompson to throw, screen pass, that's caught. That's Baker. Not for a lot, though. He gets pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line, close to the 32, picked up about 3. Lister on the stop.
3-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 7 from the 32.
You know, it's crazy when you got a running game that's this good, where every second and long or even first down feels like a third and manageable. I mean, we had back-to-back first down runs right here. Wouldn't be surprised to see a conversion on the run right now.
And here is Lomu right up the gut. And he'll be brought down close to the marker. He'll be about a yard short.
And off to number 44, Joe Lomu.
Not MJ Osefo, it was Price, Nash Price that made the stop. And this is a big third down here for this T-Wolves defense.
And then they can kind of just do whatever they want. I mean, the Timberwolves have played right into their own hands right here by allowing the running game to just be rampant all over themselves. Now they can open it up in the receiving game because they're so focused on the running game. And, well, like I said, they haven't found much of an answer for the running game as well.
8:36 and running here in the fourth quarter. Hand off to Lomu or Jenkins, first down, and more. He's got it. At the 43-yard line, 44, they'll mark it. Enough to move the sticks again for the Aviators.
And I know I've had mounts of praise for Jenkins all night long. One thing that I find so impressive about him is not only his agility and his speed, but he's a downhill runner. I mean, his body, he just makes himself so much smaller, which of course for one makes yourself harder to tackle too. But he just runs as if he's a guy that's probably 60 pounds heavier than he actually is. He just has that ferocity the way he plays.
Here he is again on 1st and 10, and again he picks his way through the hole. He gets across midfield, and he's brought down after a pickup of maybe 6.
Again across midfield to the 49.
And really, Alex Amrine, right now, all Cedar Valley has to do is they just have to feed Jenkins because he's been their workhorse all night long.
Yeah, he's doing great, and like we said, Lomo, he's made the plays when they need to him as well. As it looks like he's in the huddle now, he might be the running back that they choose to go to. Look for Johnson right here. We've seen a few screens here and there. I wouldn't be surprised to see them switch it up now here on 2nd and manageable. They can kind of take a shot right here now if they even want to.
Well, they're playing one high safety. Here's a handoff to Lomo, and he's going to be short again.
Handoff to Lomu.
He's right in front of us, and so that'll be 3rd down and call it another long yard to go.
Now, here's something that's curious. They get stopped right here. It's 4th and a yard. They might very well go for it.
They could.
They can wind off so much time off the clock. And even if they get stopped again, much better field position for them defensively. And making this a very hard offensive drive for the Timberwolves.
3rd down and less than a yard. And they're going to throw on 3rd and a yard, and the pass is caught. That's Lomu. That's a 1st down. Boy, you talk about a risky call there. There was a finger tip going up for that ball, and I'm not sure if that's the play they wanted, but that's the 1st down anyway.
Yeah, risky call right there, but hey, I like it, man. You draw in those defenders that are trying to stop that run game, especially on a 3rd and 1 right there where you're hoping they'd punch following a stop. And so you get all that coming, and Thompson, you can pump fake, and finally lets it fly. Lomu, who gets the ball, gets up and out of bounds for the 1st.
Another big 3rd down conversion there for the Aviators. This drive started back at their 7. Thompson hands off again. This is Jenkins. And again, another 5 yards off that right guard side. Vance brought him down.
For 5-yard gain. Brings up 2nd down.
And that clock just keeps on rolling.
And I almost wonder now, as far as I know, they still have all 3 timeouts. So here's where you got to be a game manager as a coach. And also a clock manager in Luke Livingston once they finally get out here, no matter how this drive ends up. Because they're going to have to manage how they're going to use those timeouts, whether that means on the defense that they continue to chew out the clock or if they want to save time as they go. As we see a flag fly.
Oh, false start. My goodness. What a time for that.
False start.
Well, if anything will help the Timberwolves, it's the backup on the penalties. By the way, an update, Stansbury just defeated Tula 34-0, and so Stansbury is all by themselves for now atop Region 7 at 3-0. And the Aviators now are staring down the possibility of 5 minutes and 55 seconds away from going tied for 1st. Still business to take care of here, though. Screen, that's Baker. And Baker gets hogtied down from behind, but not before he has another Aviator 1st down.
Pass is complete to number 1, Baker.
I'll be completely honest. I'm up here. I have one of the best views in the house. I can see everything that's going on. That play was designed to fake out the defense going left. It faked me out. I was waiting for the ball to go out to someone on the left side of the play, and before you knew it, it was Baker who had the ball.
5:27 and rolling. We'll reset the clock here in just a few seconds. Thompson in the shotgun. Lomu in his left hip pocket's got a hole. Joe Lomu inside the 20, down to the 20, inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. Another Aviator first down.
Down to the 18-yard line. That's good for another Aviator first down.
And while we've seen some great throws by Thompson, I think that one of the biggest takeaways from this game, win or loss for the Aviators, is that they have a run side of the ball, like a run side of their offense that is just a force to be reckoned with. I mean, all the teams that are going to be playing against them the rest of the season, they need to figure out a way how to shut down these pair of deadly running backs.
We talked about how Jenkins and Lomu would be the key in the game as Lomu recovers the snap. Oh my goodness. As Thompson got lifted at the end of that play, and they are very lucky, the Aviators are, to get that football back. A near disaster.
A flash of light of manna from heaven for the Timpanogos side, but a flash of an absolute nightmare for the Cedar Valley side as they're hoping to put this game away here. If it not score a touchdown, at least make it a 2-score game as we're winding down to 4 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, and this drive has taken up well over 6 minutes, Amrine. This started back at the Cedar Valley 7. Amazing, this drive. Now here's Jenkins again with a hole. Jenkins to the end zone. Touchdown, Cedar Valley. Count them up. 1, 2, 3. The hat trick for Clayson Jenkins. And Cedar Valley may have just scored the dagger.
Yeah, with just under 4 minutes, I mean, Timberwolves are going to absolutely have to pull a rabbit out of the hat if they want to get back into this one. But hey, go back to all reliable. Jenkins, he's been just all over this game, and this second half has truly been his.
Elijah Holman for the extra point, and it's right through the middle. With 4 minutes, 4 seconds left here in the fourth quarter, Cedar Valley up 38-23. Back after this word from Western Governors University on KSLSports.com.
College wasn't built for me.
I didn't care if I had to work a double shift.
Or if my kid had a fever.
Deadline's a deadline.
I want to set the deadlines.
I want to take tests when I'm ready.
I want to take courses on my time.
And speed up when I know my stuff.
I want a university that cares about me.
Tests on your time, courses on your time, graduate on your time. WGU, the nonprofit university of you.
4 minutes, 4 seconds away for the Cedar Valley Aviators to pick up a huge win on homecoming night. That will put them in a tie for first place with the Stansbury Stallions atop Region 7.
And number 23, Trenton Lewis.
Lewis and Hunter back to receive the kickoff. And the kickoff will once again go into the end zone. It's a touchback out to the 20-yard line.
You know, and going into this game, as we were actually driving over here, I told you that I kind of predicted Cedar Valley to win this game, and, you know, still anything could happen, right? But I think one of the big talking points was about how Timpanogos, how they had a really tough game last week against Payson. And something to know is that the Cedar Valley side, they beat Payson a few weeks ago in overtime. And so it's kind of one of those situations, well, oh, well, you know, we just lost to them, and now we're playing a team that beat them, you know. But this has been a much closer game than I think that you would have thought looking at paper. And even though they are like down by 2 touchdowns, I think that Timpanogos side has put up a great fight so far. And they still have 4 minutes to play and show what else they have left in the tank.
Swing pass in the flat. That was blown up. Tegan Hansen on Easton Bretzing. And this Cedar Valley defense has really stepped up when they needed to here tonight.
And that was an interesting call right there because it was behind the line of scrimmage. And if you notice, you had 2 wide receivers on the far side, both running street routes. I think that was the design double play that went horribly wrong.
Livingston now throws, and it's incomplete. Short hopped. Intended for Gabe Graff, and now we have a flag down. And my partner here is signaling that it's going to be roughing the passer.
Yeah.
For a low hit on Livingston. I mean, I've lost count, Amrine, of how many penalties we've had here tonight. I think we've had close to 20 penalties or 25 penalties combined here tonight.
I think it's on the upper side of 25, maybe even into that 30 range by the end of the night. Right there, you know, he got the ball out. It didn't look like a late hit. I think more than anything, it was just the way that Livingston's head hit the ground. It looked like he got a bit of whiplash at the end of it.
3:37 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Winding this one down here tonight. Pass is caught. That's Graff. And Graff is out to the 30. Tackle there by Tegan Hansen, and that will move the marker up to the 30-yard line here.
I think one of the struggles for this game is that while Luke Livingston, you know, he's just filling in for quarterback, as always, it's going to take more time to figure out these plays. Your playbook is still limited. Luke Livingston, as we go again, he's still making a big play.
And he's got a man wide open, but broken up. Bretsing was open in the middle of the field, and again, a great play made in the middle of the field. And that'll bring a third down, as getting his hand on the football there was Bucky Seeley, number 2.
Yeah, that was anyone's fault right there. I think that was kind of a similar throw to the last time when we saw the interception by Jaden Jordan. Lucky he wasn't picked.
And this one is picked off!
They must have heard me.
They must have. Picked off by KJ Fisher, and with 2:59 to go, that should just about do it.
Yeah, that's it. Now it's padding your stats time.
What a night for this Cedar Valley team. A 93-yard touchdown drive on their last offensive possession. And now KJ Fisher comes out and does it on both ends of the football.
Yeah, just a play right there. I mean, just throwing into heavy traffic. The later the game goes, the further down you are, the more desperate you get, the more willing you are to try to fit balls in tight places right there. Pay the price on that one.
Clayson Jenkins in the backfield. And the handoff goes to him. And he's got about 5 yards up the middle to the 21-yard line. They'll give him 4 officially. As we're under 2 minutes to go, I want to take this time to remind everyone that Amrine and I will be off next week. We'll be off, go watch a Corner Canyon against Skyridge. What a matchup that's going to be next week.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that one. You know, Corner Canyon is a school that I have not yet had the privilege yet to go check out in person, so I'm very much looking forward to it. Skyridge as well.
Shout out, of course, to Doug Henstrom and his son Luke, who is also on the team. Good friend of Dusty and me, as Jenkins takes it up the middle for about 5 more. Also want to take this time to thank Vince Francis back in Salt Lake, along with Dusty Litster and Jeff Hansen on the Red Zone tonight, simulcast on 97.5 and 1280 AM. Want to thank our good cameraman to my left here, Tino Psyche, who, boy, we worked with him a couple times, and let me tell you, Tino's one of the best in the biz. I mean, one of the best that we've had, and he's a very dear friend of ours. We're very fortunate to have worked with him here tonight, as Joe Lomo will take it on 3rd down, or rather, Thompson's going to take it. He's got all sorts of room, and he walks into the end zone.
Salt in the wound.
What a second half, and what a night for this Cedar Valley rushing attack. I mean, they might be called the Aviators, but I mean, we might want to find something else to call them, because it's like FedEx airing ground right now.
I know, right? And something that, you know, that's Thompson's 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. Similar play right there, just rolling out to the side. Great block by Eric Johnson on the last one.
Extra point is good by Elijah Holman, and that makes it 45-23 in favor of Cedar Valley.
Cedar Valley 45.
I'd like to remind you folks, KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of high school football will continue next week, as we said, with a little Thursday night action, as Dusty Litster and Brian Brown bring you coverage of Taylorsville and West. Coverage starts at 7 o'clock p.m. next Thursday night on KSLSports.com. It may not be Friday, but it's still KSL Sports Rewind. Like we said, Amrine and I will be off next week. We'll take our much-deserved break, catch up on our schoolwork, because we know there's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's that time of the year, and we'll catch up on our schoolwork, and we'll be back ready for Hillcrest and Timpanogos on September the 30th. And I can definitely tell my partner's cold because we're trying not to say anything.
You know, I'm ready to get home, bundle up in a blanket, and have some warm hot chocolate.
It's
not even snowing out yet.
I hear you on that one. As the kickoff is a line drive, it's taken on the hop by Hunter. And Hunter gets hog-tied at about the 20-yard line. He'll go down at a heap. And that will take us down to about the 1-minute 37 mark here in this one.
Yeah, I think when you're at this point in the game, you know, down 3 scores, I think it's just time where you try to have something you can build off of in the next week in practice. You know, at this point in the game, this fourth quarter and really the second half has been all Aviators, but get something to build off of, get something positive. I mean, the Aviators side could very well be playing some of their second stringers right now, but just get out there, get something positive to take away from this game, make this game look a bit closer.
21 or 14 straight points scored by the Aviators as the pass up the sideline is incomplete by Easton Bretzing's feet.
Not a bad idea. Play right there with Bretzing running on the extended wheel route right there. Just the play was a little bit too far out from him.
2nd and 10 now from the 20. Livingston looking. Livingston gets out of the pocket, now throws on the run. Pass is caught by Graff. Taken down there by Banry, but that's a first down. With 1:21 to go, that will move the sticks.
And that was a dart right there from Luke Livingston on the move across the body into pretty much the hands and face mask of Graff.
Livingston now on the run, pass is caught. That's Bretzing. They'll get taken down close to the 40, brought down to the 38-yard line. Taking a look at the schedule, looking ahead, Timpanogos will play next Friday at Uintah. And Cedar Valley, meanwhile, they'll head off to play their next game, as long as I can pull it up here quick enough on my phone. Well, it's not going to be quick enough for Livingston to throw, and that's incomplete over the middle. Well, this place was rocking and rolling, Amrine, before the game, and this Cedar Valley team has every reason to celebrate now, a homecoming victory, because next week, the Aviators play the big one. It's Stansbury next week.
Yeah, Stansbury sitting at the top of the division. I mean, they have a tall task ahead of them. From what they showed us tonight, though, I think they are up for the task. They have a lot of great playmakers on both sides of the ball. We've seen some great defense from Jaden Jordan, as well as several players on the defensive line, and then the offensive side of the ball, they're just stacked.
Hopefully Dane and Moose will get out to the game of the week in that one, as Livingston tries to hurdle over a man. And here comes a flag, and I think he's going to get called for kicking somebody in the head.
And that's kind of hard on that one, because it's not like he was asking for it, but...
In the words of Trey Wingle, Mortal Kombat comes to life.
Oh, yeah. Finish him.
Yes, exactly. Oof. So it'll be a first down, but it'll be brought back 15 yards because of the Mortal Kombat kick to the head by Livingston, which, again, was not intentional. Well, okay, I take it back. They're going to wave it off.
I think at this point in the game...
Yeah. I think the officials have had about enough. I mean, we've had a lot of penalties called here tonight. I think enough is enough at this point. Livingston to throw. Throws down the middle into coverage. It is dropped again.
Good ball. A little bit ahead of him. A little bit high, rather, but close.
That's Trenton Lewis, who was the intended receiver up the seam. And again, we've seen a lot of those tonight, Amrine, where, a lot of these passes should have been caught.
Yeah, a lot of drop balls that they're at least in the vicinity of the receiver. You got to get it.
Right, like that one, but that pass is incomplete, but somebody was being held. Graff was being held up the sideline, and that will be a 10-yard holding penalty for the defense on Cedar Valley side, and that'll bring up a first down. But the student section here at Cedar Valley starting to smell it. They'll be celebrating a homecoming night victory over Timpanogos, and what a showdown coming up next week, Adam Ryan. Stansbury against Cedar Valley for top spot in Region 7.
Yeah.
Dane Stewart and Moose Bingham, if you are listening right now, pick that game and get out there next week to Stansbury. We're calling it right now. Call the game of the week. Pick it right now. I mean, why wait? I think I just scared the crud out of you here in the broadcast booth when I just did that.
No, it wasn't that. The cold's already been keeping me quiet for a while now. I need to keep talking, keep me warmed up. But you know, with this Timpanogos side, now going to be having 2 straight losses. They definitely have some things that they're going to need to figure out and regroup.
Bretzing with another drop.
Second down and 10 from the 34.
That's like the 3rd or 4th drop we've seen on this drive in itself tonight. And they do have a lot of things to clean up, Timpanogos. I mean, it's not going to get any easier. They have Uinta next week, and then they have Hillcrest. The game will be calling on the 30th, so it really doesn't get any easier from here.
No, I mean, it's all an uphill battle, especially when you have tough games like this in the middle of the season. Because, I mean, it's one thing to lose games like that in the middle of the season.
Well, Graff was open in the end zone, but it's broken up.
Broken up by number 2, Bucky Seeley.
Bucky Seeley there again.
Third down and 10.
Yeah, and right there on that one, you know, last bit of desperation play. Great throw by Luke Livingston into the back of the end zone for Gabe Graff. Gabe Graff should have high-pointed that ball. Instead, he went down low. Sometimes you just try to do that when you want to make sure you don't drop it, but what that does gives plenty of room for the secondary to get a hand in there and stop it.
12 seconds to go. Flag down. Theme of the night. I've lost count. I think we're close to 30 penalties total now.
I would say we're erring on the side of 30.
As we're winding this one down, I want to bring you up to date on the other scores around the state tonight. Mountain View defeats Hillcrest 41-31. Payson defeats Uinta 43-26.
False start.
And then over on the 6A side, Pleasant Grove, Lone Peak defeats Pleasant Grove. We already called that one 24-14 as Livingston rolls to his right and throws. That's complete to Bretzing. And he'll be brought down, and that will do it. The Cedar Valley Aviators are tied for first in Region 7.